will vary. Not available in all states.
A pod of roughly a dozen killer whales trapped by drift ice in the waters off Japan's northern island appear to have successfully made their escape.
The fate of the killer whales off Hokkaido Island has gripped Japan for days, and now it appears to have a happy ending. Officials say they think growing gaps in the ice helped the pod of whales free themselves. Drone video had shown at least 10 killer whales, or orcas, crowded together in a tiny opening in the ice, bobbing up and down to catch their breath. The footage appeared to show some with bleeding jaws, possibly linked to attempts to get free.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. Germany's cabinet has approved plans to reduce a one-year minimum sentence for spreading child sexual abuse images, changing a rule introduced in 2021, but officials say it has proven to be too inflexible in practice. News and analysis, townhall.com. In British history, the monarch's health has always been shrouded in secrecy. That's why Buckingham Palace's disclosure of King Charles' cancer diagnosis surprised so many Brits.
On the heels of the shock and well-wishing that followed the official statement on Monday, that announced anything at all. Never complain, never explain, as Charles's late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was known to say. Charles has withheld details of his illness and treatment, and in that way is carrying on her approach. But in beaming a sliver of light from inside the palace walls and his own life, the king has broken with his mother and royal tradition. Charles de Ledesma, London.
The Kremlin confirms that Russian President Putin has been interviewed by independent online journalist Tucker Carlson. Putin's first interview to a Western journalist since the start of his invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. Carlson says the interview will be available on his website. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Yes, sir. Feels like this week's going by really fast.
It's kind of zippy.
Mm-hmm.
Little zippy. Yeah, it's yes, now I'm sitting here, I'm like, it has.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm thinking about it, and like, weekend does seem like a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
To me, it just feels like this week is just, and I think it's just because I've been filling it with, being busy and trying to keep myself moving. It's moved on.
Yeah.
That and I have a hot date this weekend.
Nice.
Yep, daddy-daughter dance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this one at the
Aquatic
Adult
Center?
Aquatic Center? Yeah. Good
Yep.
deal.
Gonna go.
Tradition for you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all, how many years now, y'all?
This will be our fourth
year,
I believe. Yep.
Good deal. Is she looking forward to it?
She's very much looking forward to it. Her and mom are going to go dress shopping on Friday. I'm going to go, not suit shopping, but nice clothes shopping today at lunch and pick out some duds for myself.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're going to do the whole, because they're going to be at mom's for the weekend, so I get to do the whole drive up, pick up thing. And
have to take her to dinner.
Have to sit down with her mom and, answer questions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I told Carletta she should go get a gun. Just be cleaning it when I get there.
Back line.
Like, this is my daughter too, all right? She's excited. Carl's excited too. That Carletta is excited too because she's going to be taking Hunter out on a little
like a reverse date.
Mom-son date.
It's going to be daddy-daughter and mom-son doing their thing.
Yep.
Good deal. I imagine their date's going to involve more boy things, though.
Probably, yeah.
Explosions and construction trucks and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be dinner. I'm guessing probably like a Texas Roadhouse situation.
Yeah. So where's yours? McDonald's?
More than likely.
Yeah, just knowing Rhiannon.
Yeah.
We're going
anywhere
fancy.
that serves chicken strips. I'm usually pretty good.
Well, I mean, McDonald's, there's a go-to and you're good to go. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it situation.
True.
So we'll go. That'll be fun. You have to report back on Monday.
Oh yeah, take some pictures and share some memories.
Good deal. So that'll be Saturday, right?
Saturday evening, yes, sir.
Yeah,
The 10th.
pre Super Bowl day. So
Yep.
good deal.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Also, it is Super Bowl on Sunday,
Yes.
and
A lot of red.
Yeah,
A lot of red this year.
well, and now it feels like because I just don't care about the Taylor Swift stuff. Not that I'm polarized, hating it or loving it. I just don't care.
And that's sort of where I've been this whole time. It's like, okay, cool. You guys do your thing, have fun. I'm gonna be over here. I'm not the demo.
Yeah.
I'm not your target demo.
Yeah,
I'm not a football guy. I'm not a Taylor Swift person. I'm not the target demo.
Right.
That Venn diagram doesn't really hit me.
right. But that being said, like if you picking sides, because everyone kind of picks a team in the Super Bowl to sort of root for, whether you do it hard or just a little bit. And I feel like now, like unless you're a die-in-the-wool, die-hard Chiefs fan, everyone knew about from the get-go. I feel like if you say you're rooting for the Chiefs, everyone's kind of like, oh, you must like Taylor Swift. And I'm like, I could care less about
Basically, everybody but our friend Chris is going to be called out. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I'm rooting for the 49ers this year. I want to be the contrarian. You know?
Well, and I am too.
Yeah.
Not because of everyone's rooting for the Chiefs. It's because of my connections with Washington.
Sure.
Kyle Shanahan's the head coach of the 49ers. He was a former offensive coordinator for Washington. His dad was a head coach. And his name just went right out of my head. They're Pro Bowl lineman. Used to be a commander, Redskins. And he's going to his first Super Bowl. So I'm like, I'm rooting for that. If everyone on the 49ers but Chase Young got a Super Bowl ring, I would be pretty happy because he's the only one I don't think deserves it. He's kind of lazy.
Who was the coach that just recently took over for the Dolphins?
Oh, well, Mike McDaniel is.
Mike McDaniel.
He's been doing it for a couple of years.
He was before. This is sort of my connection, and mine is even more convoluted than yours.
Yeah.
So he was the I want to say the offensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Yeah,
several years ago.
He was under Shanahan.
Yeah, several years ago. One of his really good friends / like childhood buddies, like they grew up together, is Dan Soder.
Okay.
One of my favorite stand-up comics.
Yeah.
So there's that tie-in. Plus, and this is the part that's going to upset people, my friends and stuff. I feel like the team that took out my Packers deserves a root. You know.
Gotcha.
It's dirty business, but I feel like, you know what? I'll give you the nod.
To the victor goes the spoils.
That's right.
I yield to you, sir. Oh, let me turn your mic on.
Ironically, that's how I feel about the Packers.
There you go.
No, but
and then there was some. Oh, speaking of your Mike McDaniels, how he was his. I'll go one further on you.
Okay.
He's also has a Washington connection.
Oh, really?
Back when Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, his dad was the head coach of the Redskins. Mike McDaniel was like tight ends coach or wide receivers coach. Yeah, all those guys that are like head coaches now and kicking butt were on the Washington staff.
Right.
McVay, the head coach of the Rams, he was the tight ends coach. Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator, head coach of the 49ers. Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Dolphins, was like tight ends coach or wide receivers coach or one of these. He was one
It's
of the
all just that
offensive
same
coaches.
club of dudes.
The guy that's the offensive coordinator that just got hired at Houston, he was on that staff. I think Ben Johnson, the guy that would just turn down that everyone was coveting to be a head coach and turn out, he was on that staff. There's, it's like an all-star stud staff.
Right.
I'm like, why? And even the Commanders, Washington, they sucked. They had the Pro Bowl elite coaches to be. And they sucked. That's what tells you what Dan Snyder did. But anyway. Sorry, I got a little off the rails there.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win the Super Bowl.
All right, tell us, Roy.
Well,
You and that chicken. There's a chicken that predicts it too.
What chicken?
It's like a chicken.
Well, there's a chicken. There's like an octopus that does it. There's like a dolphin. I think
they kind of have a whole cornucopia of animals.
Basically, they put an animal in a yard or a pen with two colored blocks, and whichever one they walk over to.
Didn't the Tonight Show do like puppies running around on the stage into something for?
Oh yeah, speaking of Puppy Bowl this weekend too.
That's right.
I'm excited. So why is it so it's obvious? But who's going?
Well, I'm just going off because you got to get that shot of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce kissing.
Oh, so you're doing the rigged. You're rigged people.
He's on the.
He's on X telling everybody the NFL's rigged.
It's a work
scripted.
You got to be careful with your works though, because you could work yourself. You could overwork yourself and then work yourself into a shoot, brother.
That's right.
I'm convinced that is the reason, the sole reason why the Chiefs are going to win, just because so they can get that shot.
I feel like the 49ers have like the spotlight on them. They're like, we have to perform because everybody's going to expect Kansas City to just trump all over us. So we have to perform. And they're good.
The 49ers are pretty good. Don't think they're just going to walk all over the 49ers.
That's right.
They're pretty good.
But I would say among the best defenses in the league.
But I'm going to be rooting for the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been the Ravens this year.
I would have rooted for the Ravens.
He would agree with you.
Yeah.
Just because they had their moment.
Well, and I'm a Washington fan. I grew up in Maryland. I'm a Washington fan because quite frankly, the Colts left when I was a little kid, so there was no Baltimore football team, and I live closer to DC than Baltimore. But anyway, but that being said, Washington being out of it, so I would have rooted for the Ravens as my.
Well, Lamar Jackson was a breakout star of the year, I think.
Lamar Jackson's he's a phenom. He's pretty good if you can get the right. Like he just plays quarterback different than the other quarterbacks. It's pretty good. But 49ers.
This was a tough season for me overall because I feel like it peaked 3 downs into the Jets' first game. Like that was the best moment of the entire year in sports for me. I never wished that. When Aaron Rodgers, I didn't wish it on anybody.
Do you just ironically watch
when Aaron Rodgers' ankle claimed or finally revealed itself to be a Packers fan? That's beautiful.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched the Hard Knocks with the Jets, and they were the preseason Hard Knocks. They did the Dolphins midseason, which if you never watch, it's excellent. Go get on HBO Max or Go, or whatever they call that thing, Max, and go watch it. But and I remember watching the Jets one, and I ain't gonna lie, I could care less about Aaron Rodgers before that, but after watching the Hard Knocks, I was kind of rooting for Aaron. I was like, he's kind of the guy walking around, just the way they portray him in there. I was like, he's a pretty nice dude. I like him, and I'm kind of rooting for him.
What's funny is,
then week 1 to first drive, and then we all know what happened. And I was like, I felt like I got all hyped up for like a month watching Hard Knocks for this.
Yeah,
and so I was like, man. It was the drink your Ovaltine moment in the Christmas Story for me.
Somewhere along the graph, your rise in appreciation for Aaron Rodgers and my direct falling of appreciation for Rodgers, there's somewhere that crisscrosses.
Okay, I was gonna ask, did they got you ironically rooting for the Jets now?
No. No, it does not.
Just even a little bit.
I tuned in because I was curious to see how he's going to, because I've always been an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love the way he plays.
Yeah.
But let's face it, a quarterback's nothing without a good receiver, or parts that work. So yeah, it was a tough season to watch. But I was never a Jets fan.
Yeah, all these Packer fans that complain about it's tough to watch Aaron Rodgers. I got the tiniest of fiddle. I was like, screw you. You guys, even at your worst playoff.
It's like the Patriots fans who had to watch Brady on the Buccaneers.
Exactly.
My steak tartare slightly room temperature.
Or any LeBron fans in Cleveland when they watched him leave.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying, you burn it to the ground at that point.
All right, we got to get this out.
Yes, we do. Andrea is very patiently waiting.
That's right.
And she's 3 chapters into a new. Oh no, she's on her phone.
She's read half of War and Peace. She read War and.
She's already gotten Eat and Pray down.
Peace.
She only has love left.
That's right. All right, let me give you the rundown. Yes, Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us here in just a few minutes. Gives an update what's going on in the chamber. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview. We had City Councilors Christina Arnold Ward 1, and Juliana Halverson, Ward 2, joined us yesterday. Had a great conversation about several things. Talking a little bit about the homeless, the shelter with the warming center. Talked a little bit about just several different things around the city. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we had Josh and his mom, Sydney Ragsdale, from Pecos Flavors Winery join us. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary coming up here, and they got a little thing planned. So they came in. They also gave me a beautiful gift of wine and nuts.
These nuts.
The nuts is a here you go, nut. No, actually, the wine I will probably, because I'm not a wine drinker, but I'll tear up them nuts. My wife and family will enjoy the wine. So, but we'll play that interview for you about 9:15. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure moving through our area today. We may see a shower or two from that, but the bigger deal will be the gusty wind, 35 to 40 miles an hour. We should get a little bit of sunshine, our high today in the mid-60s. Overnight clearing up and still breezy, dropping into the mid-30s, and then sunny and breezy on Thursday. Low 60s on the high. We're up to the mid-60s and fair Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 43 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68% with winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. I got a bit of a paragraph for today's weather. Let me take a deep breath. Hold on. No, I'm kidding. I'm sort of. It's going to be windy. There is a 20% chance of some rain, too. But we're talking mostly cloudy this morning, then becoming full-on partly cloudy with isolated showers. Expect highs in the low 60s today. Temperatures will be falling into the mid-50s by later this afternoon. Southwest winds 20 to 35 miles per hour, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour by this afternoon. Chance of precip today is at 20%. So 20% chance of rain and a whole lot of wind. That's what we're looking at with highs earlier in the low 60s, but dropping into the 50s later this afternoon. Tonight, the winds continue. Mostly clear with lows in the low 30s. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour this evening. For you Thursday, expect a breezy day with highs in the mid-60s under sunny conditions. South winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, highs in the upper 60s. Winds out of the west 15 to 20 miles per hour. For the weekend, for Saturday, we're looking at a 20% chance of some rain and snow shower mix. Interesting. Mostly sunny, highs in the mid-50s, so not a whole lot of snow mixing with highs in the 50s, but we'll see. And then we're looking at a 50% chance of rain and snow Saturday night into Sunday. And then for Super Bowl Sunday, we're looking at, looks like 50s under partly cloudy skies there, so. All right, it is 7:21. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk with Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber on the other side. Don't go away.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Get your tickets now for Red Zone Presents A Night with Jason Witten, coming to Artesia Saturday, April 13th. Jason Witten is an 11-time Pro Bowl selection and 2-time NFL All-Pro with the Dallas Cowboys and is currently head coach at Liberty Christian High School in Argyle, Texas. Jason is one of sports' top leaders on and off the field. Tickets are free, but you must have a ticket to enter. To get your free tickets, contact the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation courtesy of H.F. Sinclair Claire, excited about Jason Witten coming to Artesia.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising, sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good. I'm loving this kind of chilly-ish weather.
It is. I'm not looking forward to the wind and
no,
what's
I'm not
blowing
either.
later. But yeah, it's kind of nice where it's a mild winter where you're not getting up and it's crisp, but it's not like Arctic tundra
right.
cold. And
well, and when it says snow flurries, I do get a little concerned because wasn't this the time of year that we had Goliath?
No, that was at Christmas.
Oh, that's right. That was
right
Christmas, but there was another one we had that was really bad this time of year because it's wet and sticky and then everything.
Yeah. Yeah, those can get a little nasty. And I always find that the worst winter storms I've ever come across are usually late in the season.
Correct.
Back east where I grew up, man, if they talked about snow in March, look out. Or February.
Yeah. Colorado was the same way because, like you said, it's the wet, heavy, sticky, and trees start to get psyched out, so they start to bloom. So now they've got the leaves to capture everything, and then everything goes to heck in a handbasket.
Absolutely. So, but I don't know.
But we need moisture. I don't want Goliath-type moisture.
Right.
But I would be okay with waking up and having a couple inches on the ground.
That'd be okay. Maybe a snow day.
Right.
Kids would appreciate that.
Right.
Of course, they do they can do remote learning stuff now, so it may not be as the big
day
fun
off as it used to be.
The snow day it used to be.
Right.
But anyway, so
yeah.
Of course, now that we are full on into the second month of 2024 now,
right.
We're the chamber's diving full in.
We
with
sure
our
are.
Full kind of regular schedule of stuff now.
Yep, we're back
to our
full time to our luncheons. In fact, today is the Chaves County luncheon at 11:30.
That's with the county manager and usually
he'll bring somebody.
Or something.
And we're going to start probably a couple minutes late because we've got to go up the street to Fire Station 1 first.
That's
They're
right.
doing the dedication of the baby box.
Yes, today is that at 11
At
a.m.
11.
And that's at Fire Station 1. And there, if you're not familiar with us, we actually had next hour we have the city councilors. They were on yesterday talking about this, so we're going to talk more about it next hour. But and I think a lot of this kind of spawned in lieu of what happened in Hobbs there a couple years ago with the baby being left at the dumpster there. So they created these baby box, they're havens, and Roswell's got its first one, and it's going to be there at the fire station, and it's a anonymous. They kind of explained it where the person can basically put the baby in the box, which is completely climate controlled, and once it's closed, that's it. They can't get in there, and conversely, you can't. There's no camera, so you can't see. And then the firefighters on the other side can access it and get in. And I guess as soon as that door closes, they get alarms and notifications saying, boom,
correct,
someone's in.
that there's a child in there, and then the child can be taken care of. And so that way, traditionally it's moms, but it could be a mother, father, combo, that if they feel overwhelmed for whatever reason, this is a safe, anonymous way for you to be able to give up your child so that your child can have a better life instead of, like you said, leaving it on the side of the road or in a dumpster.
Committing a crime, basically.
Correct.
Murder.
And there's never any questions asked, even if somebody were, worst case scenario that you get so-called caught.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to ask questions. There's no judgment.
Right.
We just want the safety, health, welfare, and safety of both the parent and the child.
We're not sacrificing anything for the health and safety of the child. Exactly.
Correct.
So,
and so it's pretty cool. So that's at 1 o'clock or at 11 o'clock, ribbon cutting in a big pomp and circumstance. And then, of course, Gary and I will rush right up the street and open the doors, and we'll start with our program. So our program may be just a few minutes delayed. So
is Gary going to be in his red coat?
Yeah, actually he is. He's going to serve double duty today.
I'm about to say he's going to might be in his red coat coming back to the office.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, starting next week, if it's Tuesday, it's luncheon day. So starting next Tuesday, once again, second Tuesday of the month is always our city.
Yeah.
Third Tuesday of the month is sheriff, and then the last Tuesday of the month is education. So if you're looking to be informed on what's going on in our community, that is the purpose of these luncheons. It is free to the public. Please come and be a part of it.
Absolutely.
I've got children, and so therefore I'm on social media seeing things, and I see and I hear things in the community where people feel that they don't have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is another way for you to have a voice. Come ask the hard questions.
Absolutely.
Because I promise I'm asking the hard questions, and sometimes they're tongue in cheek because, most of these people know who I am and know my sense of humor, but ask the questions.
Sure.
That they want the public to be involved. And quite contrary to what you may hear or see out in the ether, our elected officials really do want their constituents and the community to be involved in these things because they don't know which way to go on some issues if their constituents don't tell them.
Sure.
If the community isn't telling them what to do or, different avenues to look at, then of course they're going to lean on their own expertises, their own ingenuity.
Sure.
And then that's where the public sometimes gets a little upset because they're like, wait a second, that's not how I would do it. Well, did you contact that person?
Right.
Or that, the city council or the county commission? If you didn't, then of course they're going to do it their way because they don't have any other input.
And I also like you mentioned that like the elected officials, they want to hear input, but same with, your city manager and your county manager and they come on and they like to explain, they want the public's involvement, like you said, but they also want to educate too. So you understand a little bit of how the sausage is made.
Yes.
So when they say such and such is going on, they got to do this, and they say, here's why. And they show it to you. And that's what these meetings are for. It's like saying,
exactly.
Hey, I know you're not happy about whatever, water bill or whatever it is, but this is the reason. And they show you, and it's, and that way you at least have an understanding of why everybody, what's going on. And they love those opportunities as much. So they want you to come to these so you find out, because the more information the public has, the less rumors, the less misinformation gets out there.
Correct. And you don't have to like what they say, but then that's your opportunity to go say, hey, this is what and then you'll get information, what has happened at previous meetings, whether it be city council, county commission, what's going to happen in the next one, the sheriff's department. As we all know, Sheriff Harrington loves input from the community.
Absolutely.
And look at the strides that he's made since he's been sheriff, because he has listened to the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, so that's why it's come to these every Tuesday when they have them.
Correct.
Or, I think
First Wednesday is the first week of the month is the only one that gets a little wonky.
So come out and hear what the county has to say. Hear what the sheriff.
Please
hear what our superintendents and administrators and education have to say. Here, because the education one's great too, because we get of course Brian Luck, the superintendent for the RST. We'll also get General Grizzle, who's superintendent at NMMI. We'll get Dr. Powell, who's president at ENMUR. And sometimes we'll even get, the other.
We'll get other principals, other administrators. As people give me feedback and say, hey, maybe we want to know, like you said, about Gateway or homeschooling, or maybe down in the valley, Lake Arthur, Dexter, Hagerman. I am happy to expand any of these to how our community wants, because I'm sure people get very bored with me. Because I'm not the most, I tend to be pretty boring. But then our next big thing that we've got going on is Rise with Roswell.
We're not that far away, believe it or not.
It is that time of year again. Yeah. And this year, we have pushed it up a week to March 14th, 6 a.m.
The Ides of March, almost.
Right? Yeah. Well, because when we were looking at the dates, we were going to do it a week later, which is traditionally when we do it, because that is National Agricultural Week.
Gotcha.
However, that is also spring break.
Which we know we're not going to compete with spring break.
No. And why should we? I don't want to compete with spring break. I have kids. I want to be at home with them as well.
That's right.
So we pushed it up a week, March 14th, 6 a.m., out at the fairgrounds, the Hobson Building. And our guest speaker this year, her name is Carrie Portell. She is out of Missouri. She's got a company called Thrive Big, and it's breaking through limitations, changing one perspective at a time by doing the one thing I've been most afraid of my whole life.
All right.
And so
sounds like she's going to be inspirational, motivational.
And she's in the ag business. So, of course, as Representative Candy Azell has always said, if you eat, you're part of ag. So you should come to Rise with Roswell.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a little early, but you know what? Our farmers and ranchers get up way earlier than that every single day.
It's like their lunchtime.
Yeah, it kind of is. If you think about it.
But for all you, this is way too early for me. You will be rewarded with delicious breakfast.
Oh, absolutely. Full country breakfast. You're going to have bacon, eggs, sausage, biscuits and gravy.
Yes.
And, of course, lots and lots of hot coffee.
Absolutely. So you'll have I don't know if we'll have IV hookups, but we'll have big cups.
We'll have pretty darn close. And, of course, our 4-H kids with the county extension office will be there to help serve and get everybody seated.
Yeah,
our redcoats are always there to meet and greet.
But now's the time to get tables if you're interested in getting a table or ticket to the event.
The tickets have gone up a little bit. So individual ticket prices are $40 a piece because obviously the price of things have gone up. So we've got to cover our costs. But tables have stayed the same. They are still $800 for a table.
And that's 8 people.
And that seats 8 people.
Yep.
Of course, you're going to have the big, wonderful breakfast. Mm-hmm. You can contact the office or you can go online and register and pay online at roswellnm.org/events. And you'll go find our Rise with Roswell event on the calendar. Click on it, and it says register now. And I want to say right now, thank you very much to our speaker sponsors, Dairy Producers of New Mexico and XL Energy. Without them, it would not be possible to have Carrie come from Missouri.
Absolutely. Both of those organizations come through quite often.
Absolutely.
Not just us, but many, many things here in our community.
Absolutely.
And we're very appreciative of them. I know both of them, XL, the Dairy Producers, their name. Every time there's a tent pole event, usually one or two or both of them are somewhere.
And a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't realize that go off without a hitch. It's usually because one or both of those organizations have helped out in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. So big thank you to
huge shout out because, like I said, without them, our speaker, we would be sans speaker.
That's right. Oh, and don't worry, we'll have plenty of milk at the event.
Yeah, absolutely. Milk, orange juice, of course. But yes, absolutely. Thank you. And it's going to be catered by Golden Corral this year.
Absolutely. So they know about getting a lot of people fed in the morning time.
Absolutely. We are so excited to have them be a part of the Chamber family and with Rise with Roswell. When the manager over there, Milby, had heard about Rise with Roswell, his ears perked up, his face lit up, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, how can I be a part of this?" And so, of course, we started working with him, and he goes, "And I want to do this." And we said, "Okay."
And I don't have like exact now, but just like from what I've heard over the years, that that the folks there over there at Golden Corral, they're always looking to be community-minded events.
Correct.
And things. I know obviously they're big with veterans and things like that. We talk about Veterans Day and stuff they do, but I know they're always looking to get involved with organizations or offering their facilities or their business to nonprofits here to do things and stuff like that. So they do a lot of, from a, and I don't know how the corporate structure, because obviously Golden Corral's a national company. I don't know how the franchisees and all that, but I know, he does a lot of local stuff through his corporate business there. So it's pretty good.
So we're super excited. So some changes, but I think they're going to be for the good, obviously. And then, contact us or go on our website and get your table, $800 for a corporate sponsor. Of course, if you buy a table as a corporate sponsor, we're going to list your logo on everything. We're going to do a huge shout out, because if you're going to invest in us, we're going to absolutely invest in you.
Absolutely. And if you've never been to a Rise with Roswell, come out. It's a great, it's like the only negative is it's early. You got to get up early but everything, it's fun because you really get to meet a lot of people. It's kind of, I imagine for some folks, it's kind of depending on, it's probably a catch up time where it's, hey, I haven't seen that guy in months, or I haven't seen. So for a lot of people, it's kind of a catch up reunion a little bit. And then, but then of course it's always exchange of ideas, and of course then you have great guest speakers and great information. But it really is just a way to kind of thank our people that make the world go when it comes with terms of food and feeding us and everything.
Absolutely.
Else. So it's
so come out and be a part of that. We are so excited. That's our huge event that we do every year. So like I said, March 14th. It's a week early, March 14th, out at the fairgrounds. Call the office or just go online and you can buy individual tickets or a table sponsor. Or if you want to be a larger sponsor and help us provide the food, because, of course, between food and speaker, those are our biggest expenses every year.
Absolutely.
Contact us and we would be more than happy to get you listed as a breakfast sponsor or a speaker sponsor, because we're always there's always room at the table.
Absolutely.
For that.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to come and give us money, we'll take it.
Absolutely, especially for such a great event.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. This is something you want to get involved in, and it is a cool thing if you're trying to kind of get your business name out there. It's a good thing to attach it to as far as sending a message to other people in the community. So it's a good thing. But yeah, it's and definitely get tickets. Come. It's
because we don't sell tickets at the door. So if you haven't purchased your tickets by the first week in March, you're not going to be able to get in, because we don't sell tickets at the door. We're not messing with that.
Yeah, we're not because otherwise we wouldn't make it, because most people wouldn't get a ticket and they'd be like, oh, well, they're doing breakfast now. Let's just mosey on over there.
Exactly.
And then we'd be out of food like in 5 minutes, so we just want to prepare. So give it
exactly. And we want, and because we want to make sure. Yeah, we want to make sure we have enough food. But we also want to be able to give the caterer a head count.
That's right.
And say, hey, we've got, 5 people showing up, or we have 250 people showing up, because it makes a difference on how much food they're going to prepare.
We don't want to be like one strip of bacon for you and that's it.
Exactly. Because I have been to Rise with Roswell events where it was, nobody's ever knocking it, that you have so many people show up that if you're, in the last third of the line, you get up there and you're like, man, I wanted bacon, because I think bacon should be its own food group.
Exactly.
And then you're a little sad because you have to have extra sausage, which is not bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
but bacon is a thing.
It's a good consolation prize, but it's not the winner.
Correct. So, Rise with Roswell, March 14th. And then, of course, today is our county meeting.
Yes.
And come out to the Safe Haven box.
11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock at Fire Station 1. And, of course, that means that we'll be opening the doors. So if you don't come to the ribbon cutting at Fire Station 1 and you're out at the chamber, Just please hang tight because we will be over as quickly as possible to unlock the door so we can get our program started.
But and that'll get underway is right when you guys are done over at the fire station. You're going to book it there, and we'll get started. So probably about 11:30 or so.
Yeah. Well, we say 11:30 anyway.
Yeah.
You know, to show up a few minutes early, but today we'll be opening the doors right at 11:30.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it would be one of those things because if they do get a little delayed out at the fire station, that pushes back. Then you're like, all right, now we're going to have to really book it. But we'll see.
And this is why we say 11:30 to 1 because sometimes you need that extra time.
Yeah.
But we try to get everybody out by 12:30, and we'll just see how many people show up and how many questions. But our county manager is always happy to stay and answer any questions, even if it's after 1 o'clock. He is happy to stay and talk with whoever would like to bend his ear.
Yeah, Bill Williams, he loves, and he, to be honest, I think he gets a little, like, giddy. Like, if you go to a county commission meeting and there's, like, people there, that's what makes him so happy to see that people are coming engaging. So come out to the meetings.
Please do.
That's what he wants to
And
see.
he gets him out of the county administration office, so he gets to see Roswell.
Yeah, I think it's a good excuse to get people to buy him lunch or something.
And he has started to bring kind of some really cool information, historical information, or a little story about Roswell or Chaves County. So that has, for me, not being a native here in Roswell, learning some of this stuff that isn't taught in schools.
Sure.
That's not as
you just
known.
have to be there to know it, kind of thing. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's been really cool. He's brought letters before that are from some of the founders of Chaves County and Roswell and read it and then explained, okay, this is what was going on when this particular letter was read. So it has been really eye-opening. And then, of course, he goes, okay, here's what's going on currently. Here's what happened at the last county commission. Here's what's going to happen at the next one. This is why you should be a part of the community.
Yeah.
Come ask me questions. And he loves it.
Yeah, absolutely. So come out today.
Yes, please do.
After, like I said, about 11:30, get out to the chamber here. And then, of course, if you have questions about anything related to the chamber,
call us.
Yeah, roswellnm.org.
Yes, and 575-623-5695 is our office number. Gary and I are always happy to help. Let me tell you, Gary just is on fire. He's our membership director. We're rolling out some new programs. We've got a new remote membership. If you have a vendor or somebody that does business with you here in Chaves County, this is their opportunity to join the chamber and continue to help out our area and our local businesses and our small businesses.
Promote themselves in our area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, if you are new to the community, you want to be a member. If you're not already a member, whether you're established or brand new, you want to be a member because no matter what level you join the chamber, you're helping the community. Our larger sponsored members, Emerald, Diamond, or Platinum, we may not be able to do as much for you because, you know, if you're a $2,500 a year member, you probably have your own boardroom. You probably have your own IT guy. You probably have your own marketing guru. But those funds then go to help us with our small mom and pop places that don't have those tools, that don't have those people to help them out.
Yeah, and generally, like when you get to that level, they're looking to get more into community outreach because they're trying to maybe they're coming to the community and they're looking to integrate into the community. So they use the chamber is a good tool to help you integrate and be a part of the community.
Yep.
So that's where your advantage comes.
And when you're a member of the chamber, you get discounts on boardroom rental. You get discounts on some of the things that we do throughout the year. And of course, the big thing is you get access to be able to post on our website. You get to be able to give us information to post on our weekly email.
Marketing platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And network with other members.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a mom and pop business, you know what marketing advertising costs, and it's very expensive to do all that. And so let the chamber help you with some of that. Now, by all means, because I'm in the marketing business, so please support marketing, But you know, I get it. When you got $200 a month, very limited budget on what you can do with that, you want to make the most bang for it, and the chamber can offer a lot of ways to make that stretch a little bit.
So we appreciate all of our chamber partners and members. And of course, just because you're not a member doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to do things for you.
Right.
But of course, as members, there's just so much more that opens up that we are able to do.
Absolutely. So come by. You want to learn? Come today. Come
yes, please.
Come to the county luncheon here.
Learn
at
about the
11:30.
county, and Gary would love to take you aside and tell you all the wonderful things that are going on at the chamber.
Absolutely. So, is there anything else we missed?
Nope, that's our big things. Rise with Roswell, March 14th, and then Baby Haven Box at 11, luncheon at 11:30.
That's right. Good deal. Well, as always, appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Good deal. All right, it is 7:48. Let's pause for news and your Kim Commando update. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The 6th Safe Haven Baby Box in New Mexico will be blessed today in Roswell. The baby box is located on the front of the Roswell Fire Department building at 200 South Richardson Street. Last month, Safe Haven baby boxes had 2 anonymous surrenders at baby box locations around the country. Safe Haven Baby Boxes was formed by Monica Kelsey a few years ago after she learned in adulthood that she was abandoned as an infant. Today, the organization fights tirelessly to protect women in crisis and their infants in a mission to end infant abandonment. A maker of modular homes is asking for the city of Roswell to consider selling about 45 acres of land near the Roswell Air Center. A public meeting is scheduled for Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Convention Center. ARC Prefab says it wants to create a facility that would provide more than 330 jobs over the next 5 years while investing about $3 million into the community. This is the old Millennium Transit Factory that's been closed since 2008. The city has owned that land since the closure of Walker Air Force Base in the 1960s. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
You've seen those Facebook quizzes. You know, the ones that promise to reveal your spirit animal or which pizza topping you are. Here's a quick heads up before you click start on your next one. I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. Your privacy could be at risk. Many of these quizzes get access to your personal information or even your friends' details. We're talking your name, birthday, email, and your friends list. Why would a quiz to figure out your aura need all that info? The companies behind them are probably going to use your data for purposes you never agreed to, like pushing targeted ads your way or selling your information to third parties. That's not even the end of it. If a quiz starts asking for the name of your first pet, the street you grew up on, or your favorite teacher, alarm bells should ring. Those answers are gold for anyone looking to crack your password security questions. So think twice about the info you're sharing. Your privacy seems to be always at risk. Hey, try my new daily video stream about all things digital. It's a ton of fun at youtube.com/Kim Commando. When you love someone, you want to protect them with the best. That's why I trust and recommend SimpliSafe Home Security. It's an advanced system that protects every inch of your home, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for a fast emergency response, all for less than $1 a day. SimpliSafe has everything you need for whole home protection. HD cameras for indoors and out, plus advanced motion and entry sensors to protect doors, windows, and rooms. There's even a collection of hazard sensors. You're going to love how easy it is to set it up yourself. No special tools or know-how required. Don't feel up to it? Get one of their expert techs to install it for you. SimpliSafe offers a 60-day risk-free trial. And get this, if you don't love your system, return it for a full refund. They'll even cover return shipping. Order now to get 20% off any new SimpliSafe system with Fast Protect monitoring. Don't wait. Visit simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure moving through our area today. We may see a shower or two from that, but the bigger deal will be the gusty wind, 35 to 40 miles an hour. We should get a little bit of sunshine, our high today in the mid-60s. Overnight clearing up and still breezy, dropping into the mid-30s, and then sunny and breezy on Thursday. Low 60s on the high. We're up to the mid-60s and fair Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68% with winds out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. As Steve mentioned, the winds are going to be picking up. We do also have a slight chance of a little rain this afternoon. They're talking mostly cloudy this morning, gradually becoming partly cloudy as the day progresses. But we are looking at a 20% chance of showers today. Expect highs in the low 60s but temps will drop into the mid 50s by this afternoon. They're talking winds out of the southwest 25 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour today. Tonight, windy and cooler, mostly clear with lows in the low 30s. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Thursday, breezy tomorrow with highs around 60. Winds will be out of the southwest 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with lows in the mid-30s. Southwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny, breezy, highs in the upper 60s, 15 to 20 miles an hour winds out of the west. Friday night, partly cloudy with lows in the low 30s. Saturday, we're looking at a 20% chance at showers, but mostly sunny. And then they're talking to highs, looks like in the mid-50s. And then Super Bowl Sunday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-50s there. All right, it is 7:53. It's time for your Chaves County Sports Report with Eric Butler. That is brought to you by our friends at DSI. Your sports report is next.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
County Sports Report. It was a tough night on the road for the Goddard Rockets last night playing in Lovington, and it was a girls-boys doubleheader. Started with the girls game, and Lovington swamping the Rockets by a score of 69-34. The Goddard girls are now 7-14 overall, 0-2 in district, and they will be hosting Artesia this Friday night at 5:30. That'll be another doubleheader. The nightcap, not just as bad for the Rockets last night, losing 69-31. Lovington is now 1-1 in district. Goddard is 0-2. Meanwhile, NMMI will be back in action tomorrow in men's junior college hoops. They'll be playing at Howard College in Big Spring, Texas. The Broncos defeated Western Texas on Monday night 66-65. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The tech industry has started 2024 with another wave of job cuts on the heels of widespread layoffs last year. So far, some 32,000 tech workers have lost their jobs in 2024. General Motors is recalling more than 323,000 heavy-duty pickup trucks in the United States because the electronic tailgate release switches can short-circuit and open the gates while the vehicles are in park. The recall covers certain Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500 trucks from the 2020 through 2024 model years. The Federal Aviation Administration leader told lawmakers in a letter Monday that they should not raise the mandatory retirement age of airline pilots from 65 to 67 before additional research is done. FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker said the FAA has made it clear that a scientific and safety analysis must come first. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Do you feel like time is running out for your to-do list? Don't let wisdom teeth get in your way. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Wisdom teeth can cause you pain and a lot of unnecessary downtime. Patients appreciate the ease of wisdom teeth removal while they are comfortable and relaxed in our office. Call us today to schedule your wisdom teeth removal with sedation and let us take the stress out of the situation.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Attention high school students and parents. ENMU Open House Spring Preview Day is Saturday, March 23rd. Future Greyhounds can get information about admission and scholarships, meet with the faculty to talk about potential majors, get a specialized campus tour, and win great prizes, including a $500 scholarship. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to experience ENMU. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop farm and ranch shop with everything you need for your livestock and farm. From seed and feed to equipment, medicine, and more. Plus, hardware, farm and ranch supplies, and a fantastic selection of apparel, too. Roswell Livestock knows and cares about livestock. That's why they only stock brands that you know and trust, including Pearson, Saddle Barn, Ariat, and Justin. And Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a Purina certified expert dealer. Trust your neighbors that know livestock and the people that keep the farm going. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising, sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomas. Authorities in the San Diego area report a Marine helicopter has gone missing. Search teams now out looking for the craft. His latest round of Mideast shuttle diplomacy has taken Secretary of State Blinken back to Israel for talks with top government officials.
Blinken's briefing Israel's leaders on Hamas's response to a proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of scores of hostages as the war enters a fifth month, with both sides dug in and pursuing thus far elusive goals. Israel remains deeply shaken by Hamas's October 7 attack that ignited the war and concerned about the fate of over 100 hostages still held in Gaza. Israel's vowed to press ahead until total victory, while Hamas is demanding an end to the war. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
It appears Republican opposition has killed the Senate's $118 billion border bill. That's a bill that Speaker Mike Johnson said would be dead on arrival should it reach the House. Along with flooding, Los Angeles has witnessed hundreds of mudslides during the storms that have drenched Southern California and beyond.
It has been one of the wettest storms in Southern California history, dumping more than half the amount of rainfall Los Angeles typically gets in a season in just 2 days. L.A. Mayor Karen Bass says it's not over yet.
We still need Angelinos to take precautions and to stay informed during this time.
National Weather Service meteorologist Ariel Cohen says it's one for the record books. Between 6 and 12 inches of rain has fallen over the city and saturated the ground, and officials say that can increase the risk of landslides long after the storm passes. I'm Mike Hempton.
Reports that Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel will be stepping down after the South Carolina primary. The Dow is up 78 points and NASDAQ ahead 49. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's
important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Labor unrest in Germany is impacting the country's largest airline. Some Lufthansa employees walking off the job at 5 big German airports, canceling hundreds of flights.
The industrial action by Lufthansa ground staff will affect major airports, including Frankfurt, Munich and Berlin. Germany's been beset by protests and strikes since the start of the year. Workers' demands for better pay and conditions are part of a ritual round of collective bargaining. But despite slowing inflation, it also reflects a wider discontent about the rising cost of living and Germany's sluggish economy.
The BBC's Jessica Parker. Russia has fired cruise and ballistic missiles and exploding drones at targets across Ukraine. This morning's attack reportedly killed at least 3 civilians and injured 14 others. The attacks targeted at least 3 major Ukrainian cities, including the capital, Kiev. News and analysis at townhall.com. Some parents admit to being confused over when to keep their sick children out of school.
During the pandemic, schools asked parents to keep their children home at any sign of illness. Now some parents are saying that even though the emergency has ended, they haven't been given clear direction on if those rules have changed. For example, some school districts in California are encouraging children to come to class even when they have the sniffles, lice, or pink eye. Montgomery County, Maryland recommends keeping children home if they have a stomach ache. Because so many children fell behind academically during the pandemic, some school officials have reevaluated their tolerance for illness. I'm Donna Warder.
Las Vegas about to throw its biggest party yet. Doors open Sunday at Allegiant Stadium for the city's first Super Bowl. Las Vegas primed for an estimated 330,000 visitors this week, leading up to the 49ers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce?
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hope your Wednesday's going swell.
Quite nicely, actually.
Right. It is wrestling night.
It is. So it is wrestling night.
Something to look forward
Which
to.
my daughter's really grown to look forward to because she knows she gets a cheat meal.
That's pizza night.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, pizza night was earlier this week.
Oh, okay. I thought you did pizza on
No, we'll probably do something else this year.
Are y'all Sheldon like? Where it's like tonight's Italian night
I was
tonight?
never really that guy. You know?
Okay.
We just play it by
I know
ear.
with Rhiannon was kind of like that. I could see where she's kind of regimented with her food.
Yeah, we play it by ear. Like Monday night was like hamburger helper night, for example.
Gotcha.
Because she likes cheeseburger macaroni, so
Nice.
we did that on Monday.
That's a safe bet.
It was a safe bet. Last night was pizza. We'll probably do like Mickey's or something tonight.
Nice.
Saving spaghetti for tomorrow. You know, the send off meal.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then we get the fancy nuggets for Saturday's dance.
That's right. That's right. I don't know, maybe I'll go fancy. Maybe I'll take her to Texas Roadhouse. Who knows?
Hey, now that's eating good.
That's right.
That's eating real good.
That's eating good for Dad. For her, it's eating chicken strips. It's always eating chicken strips. I actually saw that meme that was out a few months ago. It's like, my kid has such a refined palate. She's enjoyed chicken strips at over 13 different restaurants.
That's diverse.
Mm-hmm.
How does she feel about bread? Like rolls and stuff?
Oh, she's a fan of any kind of carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, she's got to be all in on their rolls, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm about to say, you know, them rolls, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
If she don't like them rolls, then quite frankly, then you need to take her back to the doctor and get something fixed because something's not right if you don't like them rolls.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Your palate's off or you got celiac or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we'll figure it out. You triggered like a little bit of a core memory
I did?
Off the air. Yeah, just when you mentioned Oakley.
Okay.
It just, I flashed, like for a second, I just stopped and sat when I was sitting down. I flashed back to when I was in high school. Oakleys were like the thing.
Yeah, and they always kind of are.
Right.
Yeah.
But this was one of those unique times that, and I don't know if it's still like this. I'm not in Oakley culture, but everybody was all about, let me look at the insides. I want to see if those are Jokeleys. Folkleys, Jokeleys, that was like the name. But it was like, if it was the whole thing about like, are your Oakleys authentic Oakleys, or did you just get some from like, you know, the 99-cent store down the street and they're Jokeleys,
right,
with an O on the side?
Well, that was, I know all about those.
It's just, it was like the counterfeit culture was such a thing when I was in high school about like, we need to make sure that yours is authentic.
Well, you just triggered a memory for me.
Okay.
Back in like teenage, so 16, because right about where I could drive.
Okay.
There was I lived in Waldorf, Maryland. The next county over is St. Mary's, and that was a little more rural, even than Waldorf was at the time.
Right.
And they have a pretty strong Amish community down there. So every Saturday they do a quote-unquote Amish market. And it used to all be just Amish produce and all that, but it evolved over the years, and I don't know if it even still goes today.
So like furniture and stuff.
Yeah, well, no, but more junk, like your knockoff, like it was like Amish fruits and produce, and then over here was like people selling like fake Rolexes and fake Nikes and fake,
wow,
you know, and so I don't know how many times I saw the Rolex or
Rolex, right?
Adidas with a U. Yeah. And so I know the land of the Croquettes.
That's fantastic. Somebody walking around with their Nike Scottie Pippen Airs. It's Nuki Scottie Pippen Airs.
And I always was like, mostly for like me, I'm buying like Pulu cologne.
See, that's a whole other thing. Dollar store cologne.
Right.
Dude, I always love the like smells just like Stetson. It smells just like, no, it does not. It smells like it for a quick second, and then it's alcohol.
Right.
And it's just straight up smells like you had a pint.
Right. But
dude, that was a whole thing in child, because we had a 99-cent store down the street from where I grew up.
Yeah.
And just the most knockoff, fantastic products.
Weirdly enough, they had a great selection of Big Johnson shirts. There was a vendor that had a bunch of Big John, and they were kind of a thing at the time.
I didn't get those brands. I got Bugle Boy.
Oh,
that was
Bugle Boy.
That was the other thing is when we lived in Rio Rancho.
My high school days, I was you had a 85% chance I'm wearing Bugle Boy jeans.
All right, nice. We had it was like halfway between Rio Rancho and Santa Fe. There was an outlet mall that we used to go to, and one of the stores was a Bugle Boy outlet store.
Yeah.
So I had not only Bugle Boy, but like the Bugle Boy with like the third leg, like the patch on the back or whatever, or the Paco. That was another one. I had a pair of Paco pants.
Yeah.
Like they had the Mexican flag with like a little pillow thing and metal. Like the back thing was metal.
Right.
I was like, ooh, these are fancy. So I rocked those for a minute. Yeah, there was a lot of that outlet gear.
Yep. I know it well. I know
the other one too was Factory to You.
Oh yeah,
But the beauty of that was they had like really cool shirts, but all like 3 different of the same style.
Yeah.
So you'd be walking around school, and somebody else would have the same Stewie and Crossbones shirt that you just bought, and you're like, oh god, now I know where you got it, and you know where I got it.
Right.
It's not cool anymore.
Yeah. I had a breaking shirt like that. Breaking. It was a breakdancing shirt. It was a different time.
Of course.
I love that shirt though, man. But yeah, I saw like 10 other people with it in different colors. Breakout didn't think it was so cool anymore.
Right.
A breaking shirt.
It loses its allure.
That's back in the day. We all used to, for a hot minute, we'd get off of school and we all sit on a cardboard box in the street and try to spin on your head.
Hit the play button on your ghetto blaster.
That's right. Do the worm. Do the worm.
Pop and lock.
Try to moonwalk and dodge it.
I can just picture a young Mike Winters popping and locking in the streets next to a ghetto blaster.
That's right.
And of course, Fat Mike over in the corner.
That's right.
I mean, you did grow up near Chocolate City, so I got to imagine you had a few, there had to be like the one beatboxer in your crew.
Oh, yeah, we had the whole, yeah, exactly, yes, yeah. We all had witty nicknames.
The dude that rocked the bucket on his head, yeah. Just you had the whole junkyard gang.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey!
This guy wore ski mask.
Fat Mike and the junkyard gang.
That's right. We all tuned in for the Brown Hornet at 3:00. Different show. All right, I got to get the interview going before I stick my foot in my mouth and get in trouble. We're going to play our interview we had with 2 city councilors, Christina Arnold, Ward 1, and Ward 2 city councilor Juliana Halverson joined us yesterday. Had a great conversation. We talked a little bit about the baby box that they're having the groundbreaking or the ribbon cutting for here today. Not groundbreaking, it's done. Ribbon cutting for at 11 o'clock today. And then we talked a little bit about the homeless and a couple other city issues there. So we're going to play that for you. But it is like a 39-minute interview, so I better get going. I'm a windbag. All right, it is 8:15. Let's get you up to date with the weather. And then we're going to roll right into the commercial break. And then we'll play the interview on the other side.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure moving through our area today. We may see a shower or two from that, but the bigger deal will be the gusty wind, 35 to 40 miles an hour. We should get a little bit of sunshine, our high today in the mid-60s. Overnight clearing up and still breezy, dropping into the mid-30s, and then sunny and breezy on Thursday. Low 60s on the high. We're up to the mid-60s and fair Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices, so come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
We can all use help strengthening our marriage to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference. a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
The University of New Mexico. It's the state's flagship, a world-class university right here in Albuquerque. Apply for admission at UNM today at unm.edu. That's unm.edu. The University of New Mexico is the university for opportunity.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, they're fixing a screw up I did there. So, but joining us is Juliana Halverson, Ward 2 City Councilor, and Ward 1 City Councilor, Christina Arnold, with us this morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Morning. Good morning.
We got to be careful. We got a couple more of you. We have to have a quorum, right? So we're still
we
under.
have room. There's we could do 2 more. But.
Yes, good deal. But good morning, ladies. First off, thank you for coming in this morning and,
absolutely,
and chit-chatting with us. And we kind of incorporated this Christina kind of set up a deal where each month we kind of come in and talk a little about different facets of the city. We've talked about, how the sausage is made over at the wastewater treatment plant. We've talked about all kinds of stuff, really. We've kind of hit it all.
We've hit public safety. We've hit all these different areas.
Yeah, we've talked, a little bit about, the clerk's office. And we've kind of covered all a little bit here. Well, today we kind of want to just cover a few kind of issues that are going on or problems or things that are being addressed. We've got, like one of the big ones, obviously, is the homeless situation. That's something that's been really been in flux since really COVID hit. We've been dealing with this kind of stuff, and the city has been working and partnering with nonprofits and doing stuff on their own to try to address some of these things. So we want to talk a little bit about that and just a couple of other community-based things here today. Yeah. So that's kind of our subject for today. So.
Yeah, actually, the reason that I was looking at having Juliana, I'm going to call her Juliana. That's fine. Having her with me is because we have teamed up over the last 2 years on so many community events. Yeah, and I think both of our concept is government is the role of the government.
Right.
And the role for the community should require support from the government. So we kind of marry those up and utilize our, skills to assist both. And so that's kind of why we've actually been able to work on several projects that are listed that we're very excited to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely here. And so it's, and you're right. This is something that we talk about that, and I kind of lean that way in my own, government's, job is to, the water comes on, right. Make sure that, that those kind of things. But when it does come to kind of the service, when it comes to the that kind of hate and kind of stuff, you really, the city wants to kind of support the people that are the professionals at doing that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And we're not professionals at that at all.
So it's kind of like, maybe, rather than taking over and being the in charge of said project, you just, make it easier for the nonprofit.
What we found, like with the homeless problem, is we're the catalyst to get everyone to start talking to each other.
Right.
Because all these organizations, there's a whole bunch of them that do good things, but they don't always talk to each other. Some of them do, and stuff. So
and a lot of people don't have the same idea on how to address this problem too, and so we want to, and unfortunately, the homeless situation is very much the not in my backyard mindset, where it's like, yeah, we need homeless shelters, but not in my backyard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Same thing with jails. The same kind of deal. Yeah. Everyone wants them, but not in their backyard.
Yeah,
and so. But it's got to be in someone's backyard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of stuff we're working on and things.
And we could understand, a small portion of the homeless, they do vandalize and harm private property and stuff, and sometimes people, but not often. But the majority of the homeless are just good people.
Sure.
They're just in a bad situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always say those who wander aren't always lost.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting topic on this one because we, while we come together, we've had two separate focuses, and mine was more of a behavioral health initiative, working with Commissioner Dara Dana, and so it's a long project. To get where we're headed, we're looking at 8 years because we're also working on the state level. We have legislation that's actually being worked on right now. But because it's a long process and we need immediate solutions, Juliana has been very proactive on the homeless portion of behavioral health, because that's actually, behavioral health is a very broad area. It could be a person who's just one paycheck away from being homeless. It could be someone who has a criminal record, and it could be the homeless who need assistance. And so that's what Commissioner Dana and I have been looking for. But Juliana has been very proactive in trying to support immediate short-term solutions for homelessness.
Yeah,
yes.
we you know, that you said the long-term fix is well and good, but we got people here today that need
but
that.
We need the
long-term. And that's some of
long-term.
those things you're
Because that's the problem is the state doesn't have any mental health facilities, and there's a lot of the
we are
homeless that
grossly
need
behind.
Yeah, and that's what the legislation is.
Yeah.
It's for funding to create facilities and for several, because I guess the initial goal was jail diversion, but you can't create jail diversion without the resources for a judge to divert somebody to.
We have to be someplace to divert
and
them
that's
to.
what we, that's exactly what Dara and I, Commissioner Dana and I found out is, wait a minute,
there's
where's the judge
You
going
can
to
say all kinds of things, but if there's no actual place
Correct.
to put them, then it ain't doing any good.
So it's been research on all levels, and then a lot of the things that Juliana has done to connect and try to create resources regarding homelessness, it just made sense for us to team up and make sure we were supportive of each other.
Yeah.
So we started a collaboration. We just started having meetings with everyone that, everyone that anything to do with.
All welcome parties, really. And obviously you've had, representation by some of our homeless
we've had a couple meetings,
nonprofits.
and then we met with Geneva and Enrique.
Yeah.
And then Dan
The Many
Jennings jumped in and
Hands
helped. And so they opened the Gonzalez Warming Center.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Gonzalez family. They donated that space, and they're paying utilities.
And they're doing great work over there. I last I heard, they need more money.
Actually, I was about to plug that.
Because they gotta have like 10 or 14 days of operating, and they're I think just below that right now.
Yeah, and so it cost them $400 a night to
Yes.
run it because of the other donations, like the center is actually donated. But I do want to plug people, please go and actually see if you can donate. Fund a night, fund $50.
Absolutely.
And, because both of us have
if you can
put our
afford it
money
and
in.
cut a check for $400, you just funded a night at the shelter.
Right, and
for
I think
everybody.
last month they serviced about 208 people, and that's actually huge considering the size of our homeless population.
Because it was bitterly cold, and they gave them a place to.
Well, and what happens is the way they operate right now is they open only on nights where it hits a certain temperature.
I think below 32.
Yeah, and then unless rain or snow or something's
something.
involved, then those numbers change a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but that's the nights they open on. But if their funding is below the minimums, they've got to up all that, or they can't open at all.
Yeah.
So that means, and obviously, weather doesn't care whether there's funding or not. If it's going to be 20 degrees out, it's going to be 20 degrees out, and so $400 can save a lot of people. So
I'm hoping they'll extend it to a cooling center. I want to keep the thing
the
alive.
Summer is just as bad. You're right.
Absolutely, because here's how I see it. This is actually a public safety measure. From in my book, this is actually something that the local governments should be looking into, as we are.
Yeah.
Because the last thing we want is someone to freeze on a bench or someone to have a heat stroke and die. In a park.
In a place of town this big, and
Yes.
you know what I mean. There's like we're everywhere. It's not like you were stranded in the desert. No one saw you for days.
But this is where I think the
everyone's
private
here.
entity comes in. They've been so beneficial because anytime the government gets involved, it's also convoluted.
Absolutely. Well, the red tape comes with it, the strings, and transparency. But there's a reason for all that.
Well, and then anti-donation. I can't pay a homeless person's rent. I don't pay your rent.
Right.
And so, that's where the private industry comes in.
And that's why we kind of steer it that way, because at the end of the day, you guys can move the hurdles quickly that sometimes they can't.
Yeah, and they all need volunteers and donations.
If there's a change in a residential, commercial, whatever, to get that kind of stuff to make you guys can facilitate all. That's
Yeah.
what the city can do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pooling people and resources and getting, we've got a person who's homeless, we need to get him in a place to stay tonight. The government can't do that quickly or
Enrique,
even effectively.
with community
whereas
disaster relief is
Many
fabulous.
Hands
Yeah,
can
and
do
with
that
Many
kind of
Hands.
stuff. Yeah.
The other aspect of this is I kind of want to make the public aware. I think the initial goal with the subcommittee that was created by Judge Hudson and his group, and that's what Dara and Commissioner Dana and I are part of. But the big goal was to actually create a center that actually provided all resources in one location, and that is still the goal. That way you have a warming center there. You have a place where someone can come in and clean up, change clothes, get a meal, and move on.
Well,
and you can help them fill out any forms they need.
Because you don't know how long you have them.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can get them as many
resources, medications, anything like that,
or whatever, to where they're no longer homeless in one shot, let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We've even discussed the idea of these people are on a track and heading somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
There have been organizations willing to donate to fund bus rides because sometimes they get stuck here and they don't really want to be here, which makes them more destructive to our area.
I hear a lot of stories like that where they were, their families back in Texas or in Utah or something, and they were traveling through and they got stuck in town.
Or they're on their way to LA to be famous.
We did the pig count.
Yeah.
I ran into 2 people where they ended up being stuck here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they have resources, but they're 500 miles away. So let's get them to where their
that's
resources
exactly
are.
so. That's the importance of It's actually initially called the Hive because it's a beehive where all your organizations are together, and that was named by Enrique. But the interesting part is the city and the county have commingled funds for the opioid settlement. And that's kind of what we've been working on.
This was the big federal one, and
yes,
state,
and there's quite a bit of money to help get that started. One of the big things that we're kind of trying to do is go, okay, how much do we put towards that? How much qualifies? Because it has to be some form of treatment for prevention of opioids and stuff like that. But we also want to wait with the city to see what the state's fixing to do because there's several serious pieces of legislation that can assist, and so we don't want to divert the money to that. We want to be able to make it last longer.
You want to make sure all avenues get the most flow.
Yeah, and it's just very imperative that people know that there are short-term solutions happening and people getting together. There's a lot of connectivity, but there's also been a lot of effort and work on the long term because we don't have juvenile facilities. We don't have long-term treatment facilities for life rehabilitation. There's so many things that we need to build that foundation, and I believe that's what she and I have been very good at working with the community on.
Because we created the collaboration, and so we're finding things out in our meetings, like the Salvation Army has a 6-month rehab for free, but it's up in Albuquerque, but none of us knew that.
Sure, it's not on the radar, then how good,
when we start talking to each other, we can see
tree
what
falls
services.
in the woods thing,
So when Enrique's out, helping people, and they say, well, I need rehab, he can send them over,
There's a resource for
there is a resource.
So just the communication is what's important.
And learning what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's maybe that's something we work on next as a community, is a central resource for that. Kind of like
that's the Hive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like a community calendar, like we have a community calendar for, it's Chili Cheese Festival weekend. Maybe there's something out there that says, these are all the places that are accepting homeless.
Well,
these
that's
are the
what
people
Ben Jennings has.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm fixing to plug the Health Council because they've
got something in place
like
that.
They operate what's called 211.
Yes, the 211
and
thing
so
is
that
great.
is part of what Commissioner Dana and I were looking at trying
folks,
to fund.
That's way bigger than just homeless. If you have any
needs
that's not emergency related, but if you're looking for resources, maybe you're new to town and you're looking for a doctor, or
that's for everyone.
Or if you're needing New Mexico Department of Health resources, not sure how to do that, the 211 is it's not a 24/7. So please don't call them at 2 a.m. Some poor lady has to get up and answer that.
Yeah. We've been working on that though.
She's a nice lady, but during normal hours, even on the weekend, she'll but don't call her 2 a.m.
Yeah. No, I've asked. She gets up at like 6, and so we took several road trips to look at other 211 programs to see, and funding in that area is actually what is looking. So we're definitely trying to work towards that.
Good deal. So so that's a great resource as well.
And Dan also has a card that the police department hands out that has you can actually scan the QR code.
Okay.
And it'll actually there's a list of resources.
And after I've done ride along with the county and the sheriff's department, and That's a great, because they go into places you would never realize they go and see, and there's parts of town that you or I or others probably never been a part of and never thought of, and it's they go there, and that's where they're helping and servicing.
Enrique knows where they are.
Yeah.
When we did the pit count,
yeah,
he was our chauffeur, I guess you could say, and he was driving around. He knows exactly where a lot of the homeless are.
When you're out there and you have relationships with them, and that's kind of what we also too. We talk about people helping the homeless and things, and we all want to help and things, but we do want to remind folks that the street corner stuff, we need to avoid that kind of thing. Work directly with Many Hands or the Homeless Coalition or Enrique over at
Because I've had some
Relief.
pushback because any research I've done that says to help the homeless is don't give them food, don't give them money.
Yeah.
You give them, you give to the organizations that help them.
Yeah.
Because for one, those organizations know them. They get to know them on a personal basis. So if they don't show up, they know something's wrong.
Well, yeah.
And you're not helping the underlying cause. You're just enabling the behavior.
Absolutely,
the problem.
and they out at the camps, they have it's their own government, their own hierarchy, so to speak, and most of us don't know. And the people that go in and work, and they've established relationships, they've kind of made their headway in, so they can actually get more done because they've got a trust built where you and I don't have.
Yeah.
And so that's why we say let them. The people that have already established the relationship, let them, because it's safe. That's just health.
And they're trying to help them get off the street.
Yeah, because and let's face it, some are dealing with severe mental health issues and things.
Well, and if you follow
we
the
don't want
Homeless Coalition on Facebook, they show the success stories. How they've had someone come into their shelter and they have helped them find a job, a place to live, and they're doing great things.
Where they're back living on their own and in a home. Yeah.
So if I could kind of segue this, because on the list, I'm going to segue us into the community group, because so the community group is something that I created last January, and it's about organizations within Ward 1, and that's civic organizations like the Hispano Chamber, Main Street Roswell, and Historical Society, anything with that. So, but the reason I bring that up to kind of segue is having Main Street as part of my ward. I've been aware of how the businesses are affected by homeless, and I want to explain that it's very difficult to, force homeless to do something, because ACLU actually protects their rights.
Sure.
And if you don't have a bathroom, you can't actually penalize them for going to the bathroom on the wall of the business. And if they're on a bench, it's hard to move them unless you have somewhere to move them, because that's what the ACLU says.
Sure.
If you're going to relocate them, right, you can make them get up, but if you're going to relocate them, you actually have to have provided a resource for them to be located too.
Like, well, you got to move, but you can go here.
Right. So that's kind of where, for me, it's been very important to try to get Portland Loos out. And I always drop the word Portland Loos, to get bathrooms out, and not just because we want to provide the service, but we actually have to counteract. If we're going to hold people accountable, we also have to provide and protect ourselves from the ACLU.
I mean, it's no different than, it's when you're raising your kids, you tell them don't do that. But if you don't give them the other thing to do right, then how do they know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same, and it's no different here. It's like, well, great, they still have to go to the bathroom. Where can they go to the bathroom? All right, there's a porta potty down the corner.
It's a win-win because of tourists. But while we're on the lines of the community group, this group, which Juliana has actually been a part of the whole time as well, is kind of focused on more of the request of those particular organizations, which happens to have been more about the UFO festival, how our lodger's tax is utilized, our visitor center, and several other items. And I think we've actually done a great job this last year at getting stuff moving. And the UFO festival was the big one, because I kept having people in the community say, we want it to belong to the community. And then, of course, with my role of government mentality, I don't believe events are necessarily the role of government, and to use those resources to plan a big event. And so that is kind of why that we have that's already passed a city council where it has actually been given back to the community. And it's been beautiful because Miss Juliana here has worked with several of the members who were part of the previous one to start rebuilding that. And I'm going to let her kind of throw where we are at that, because that's very exciting on the UFO one.
Well, first, I would say we're desperate for volunteers, as always in any event. But we went back to basically a UFO community committee
Yes.
Like we've done in the past.
Sure.
So anyone that has anything going on during the UFO festival or wants to be part of the UFO festival, they come to the committee meeting and we make decisions based on what's going to happen at the UFO festival.
So it's kind of like each entity has their own event thing.
We've got the Roswell Daily Record, has their Roswell Incident, the Galacticon. And
the community group is kind of the glue to put all that together.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're running your thing and you do your thing here and you run, and we're going to be the one that kind of puts it all into one thing to present to the public.
So when we do advertising, they don't have to go do their own advertising. Gotcha. They're welcome to.
But so you don't have one entity planning the costume contest, the run, the
it is the UFO festival and all these separate entities.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so that I think that collaborative is actually
absolutely.
Well, it's better. It's the community owns it.
Absolutely too, and let's face it, that allows it to get bigger, better, bolder.
That's what I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm like, go big, guys. You can do it.
Because, when the government is running an operation, there's a ceiling, a cap, there's something, you know what I mean? And like you said earlier.
It gets convoluted.
It's exactly. And let's face it, your job in this role would be much more like, how do we make the streets available during that time, or how do we block off these roads we need to do, or whatever. Yeah.
You're really good at this. We're going to give
making sure we have enough law enforcement on hand during that event and this kind of thing. That's where the city comes together.
Yeah.
As far as
and they've been great.
What you're eating and who you're throwing what at whom and who you're climbing or whatever fun you're doing, that's done by the community, not by the city.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of and I think that's, and plus too, it's it's always been kind of a three-headed monster. And each head had a different idea what to do with this thing.
Well, except for the 5 years Main Street had.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just been kind of like that over the years. So to kind of have
separate events, and the tourists got confused. It was really,
So to create a standardization or at least a one resource to have, which in essence is this the community group here.
Well, and like I said, I'm actually very excited to see what this year's looks like, because I think it has a new Vivianis, it's kind of coming alive, and you can feel it in the meetings and stuff like that. But to segue, what we actually did, I'm segueing into the next one, a lodger's tax under that, because I kept saying, where's the lodger's tax going? What is it actually being utilized for? And how much do we have? Because I don't know if you know how much. I have not been able to really get or understand, because that's not completely managed by the finance committee. So it's more of a policy thing, and that's something we're kind of looking at how that operates. However, so when we wrote this piece of Hess built this legislation, we got it all passed, and it was actually to take and stop using our general funds for the UFO and to use lodger's tax.
Gotcha.
And that's where people need to understand, because a lot of people, like she said, they don't like the government funding events.
Right.
But lodger's tax
that's what it's designed for.
Can only be used for that.
Right.
It's specifically designed for that.
So, we need to make it clear to people that it's being funded by lodger's tax, which has to be used for that. So it's not coming out.
And the people that pay the lodger's tax are everyone that stays in our hotel rooms and everything when they come and stay.
So it's not the citizens that are paying the lodger's tax.
And that's where that money comes from.
That's the importance of the lodger's tax, because even when we talk about the Portland Loos, because that's another thing on that list for that community group, is my goal in most of the things from this group is to be funded by lodger's tax, because if you actually look at the rules behind lodger's tax, the purpose of lodger's tax, it actually should be utilized differently, because I understand it right now. One of the main things that it's funding is our civic center, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And the visitors.
My understanding was it's to fund promotions of events to bring tourists or bring people to your community.
But it can be used for infrastructure too, like Portland is, as long as it's on city property.
Right.
Okay.
Because
if it benefits tourism.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
so as long as its end game is tourism gets benefited.
Well, yes. Because here's the mentality. What they're doing is these people are coming into our community. They're utilizing our resources. They're utilizing our roads, and basically the lodger's tax is basically a reimbursement for letting them use our resources. And so that's why it's limited, but that's the purpose of it.
I got you.
It's not just to build more events, even though that does actually do GRT, but it's when
people are coming, then we get
absolutely,
to fix them.
And to provide a bathroom for them, and so extend that service. But that's really what it is. They're just reimbursing us, and that we have to utilize that to build what they've broken, if they've broken something while they're here.
Sure. And I also think too, and kind of changing gears but staying gears with the committee and with this here, is that leads to potential for the thing that we always keep hearing is going to happen, like a theme park or some kind of tentpole event or entity that wants to come set up shop here. I think by doing the UFO Festival the way it's being done, this could set the table for that. You know what I mean?
Even Raw Rock could set the table for that,
Yeah.
yes, because there's a lot
Was
of
this another
opportunity.
segue?
Yeah.
That was not a segue. That was a plug for the EDC and the Roswell Air Racing Association to choose Roswell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have we
That
have
was
any
a plug.
update on that yet? Or I know it's I know we're in that lull waiting. We're all kind of like, oh, it's getting
From what
February now.
yes, no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some announcements coming soon, and I don't have any intel, but I just know from working with them when they were talking about, and their dates are coming
Okay.
close. So we'll hopefully,
Well, the
fingers
state
crossed.
legislature, they've got those bills.
Yep.
To for $10 million to fund
infrastructure for them to come.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So we actually do have some incentives to offer,
Good
and we have
deal.
stuff on the table. So that's actually a plus. But I did not mean to segue into that. Although, actually, it is on the list, so that was a good segue. But because that team that actually started with the Reno Air Races, she and I both worked on. She did a lot of our marketing, our Facebook, all that stuff, promoting, getting the signs up, getting the signs ordered.
Yeah.
So it's been beautiful because we've been connecting on that. I actually had the opportunity to work with the EDC because this is actually an EDC thing, and so we were working as
they're the
volunteers.
spearheads of this,
Absolutely. I helped chair the committee that basically did the administrative part of selecting and putting people together and getting us here and there and that type of stuff. But it was such an exciting ride, and at this point, the mayor has made a strong negotiations team and segued us into getting ready to get to the table and say, here's what we've got, please choose us.
We're hoping they will, because they seemed super excited when they were out here, because they're like, how much of that space can we have? He goes, as far as you can see, and they're like, what?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually really neat because there were several private meetings where we kind of learned what they were looking for, and we were able to provide, that to the mayor and to the negotiation team to find out, okay, can we meet these? I think interaction we've had, there's an intimate relationship between one of the directors and Mike Espiritu has done a fabulous job of super connecting with all of these. There's been, dinners where we've had conversations with them, and they really love our community.
Yeah.
They love our community because it matches them. A good, strong, conservative, valued town.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it's on the road to being an all-American city.
I'm crossing fingers and hoping that they do choose Roswell here, because I do think it's a good
it's gonna be
marriage
fun.
partnership.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
going to be amazing.
I could even envision, depending on how big this gets, where we have, this turns into maybe the UFO festival and their air races turn into a big air show type deal.
Well, that's
where
what they
it's
have
kinda-
it's not just air races. But
Yeah.
I
It's
think
air show.
initially, if they do choose us, it won't be as big as they had in Reno to start, but they'll build it up back
Well,
to
but I mean, think with our alien stuff and their air, I mean, that could be a pretty good air show. you
That's
know?
actually the fun part. 'Cause when she
UFO flying out there.
when she designed the actual logo, she put it with the UFO flying
Well, that was
around.
one of their ideas.
Yeah,
I just,
but she did a great job. But there is, and there's several opportunities. So it's not just one September event. There's other opportunities.
Sure.
But it was really fascinating to see the leaders of the association. They had ideas for years that they could not implement because they did not have room. So when we sat at the table, they were like, "Oh, we can put this." They could envision.
You could see their
building
excitement,
and creating more for themselves, and it's very interesting because all we as a city would do is provide support. This is completely ran by that association,
And not to mention what other partnerships that creates.
Absolutely.
Like, say they partner with, I don't know, it's off the top of my head, Eastern New Mexico University, and expand on their avionics and mechanics program and all that.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, when you have that many people
they
in
have
town.
a big STEM program. They do.
yes,
Yeah.
and they donate to STEM. They do STEM
And
scholarships.
Eastern's already got a great
Yes.
program in there. I feel like it's a marriage that could work out really very well.
When they have these air races, they actually have big meetings with the pilots, and so there's already been conversation of collaboration between using Eastern's lecture halls and stuff like that for down. So it's all super connecting out there. We're talking, parking lot, RV lots, all of this. And so I do want to put this last plug before we segue again. I want to say to all the entrepreneurs in our community, the day that you hear the announcement that we've run Raw, get out and bring that entrepreneurial spark, because we're going to build southeastern area.
You're potentially getting in kind of in the ground floor in a gold mine opportunity.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So be paying attention and get to the drawing board because we need you.
It's early bird gets the worm kind of thing.
That's right, yeah.
Be an early bird.
Yeah. So,
Good
segue.
deal. What else do we got? What
The
else
baby box.
Yes, the baby box. Thank you.
Yeah,
I knew there was something else. I was like,
that's
what did we
actually
miss?
our passion because, oh my gosh, that's our 2-year-old baby.
So
this is one of the things that you like. We hope never needs.
Yeah.
But we're thankful if it, to have it available.
Well, like right after Hobbs, I think happened. I think it was right after
Yep.
Hobbs. Victoria Job, she has Tiny Trends. She emailed the city council that, hey, we really need a baby box. And, I'd heard of them, but so we did more research, and we were excited to jump right on it.
Immediately.
We started getting it moving. We started working with the fire department, and they, because they have to put it in there. And
Sure.
So it was put in there. It's been like a 2-year project. It's taken forever. So like I said, the government gets involved.
And it takes a long time.
It happens. It's just at the speed of glaciers.
So we went out and we found sponsors all over the community.
Sure.
Can I name them? Do we have time?
Absolutely. Please. Everyone that supported this, we want to give them an attaboy.
Pioneer Bank, Benjamin and Jennifer Stanford, Pecos Valley Production, AMR, Excel Energy, Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, obviously City of Roswell and the Fire Department, Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Roswell Sertoma, the Snowburger Enterprises, McDonald's. And the biggest thing is Wade Construction and J&G Electric. They put it in.
They're the actual installers of the baby box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So.
Good. Maybe, there's one.
The ribbon cutting's tomorrow.
Good.
11 a.m. at Central Fire Station.
So come on out to Central Fire Station at 11.
We picked Central Fire Station because it's the central location in Roswell. We didn't want it south or north. It's
right.
just right in the
Especially
middle.
if you're going to have the first one. You want it central.
So it's on the outside of the building, but it is kind of hidden. So if somebody needs, hopefully it'll never need it to be used. But,
That's the
we
idea.
need it there because we don't want what happened in Artesia or in Hobbs to happen here.
No.
So I was going to make a couple points on that. It was interesting because just to understand how that actually works is it's a safe place for someone to put a baby. Then an alarm goes off at our
So the
call
baby's
center.
not just left unattended
Right,
in there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so once they're in there, they cannot be removed. But it's a heated and cooled area.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. As we were kind of talking about it throughout the community, I had a very important question that I've never forgotten. And that question is, how many babies have we actually lost, or how many, how do you know that there's ever
a need for it?
And I'm like, but
to me, one's enough.
Well,
we don't know.
But
I
that's
know.
what I was kind of saying. I'd
rather not wait and find out,
Their concept was, well, how do you know we really need it? Because we've never had babies left here. And I'm like, but that's just that. We don't even know how many are in the landfill.
Yeah.
It's like, do we need to have 6 more of these before we say this is a good idea? What's the number?
Right. And actually, it's better. This is the error on the side of caution. But the other aspect to what our goal is, this is just the beginning of, the box was just the beginning of the actual campaign, because we want to make sure that we go around, talk to the schools, talk to the pregnancy centers, to let them know this is available to you.
Sure.
And there's, we ask you to please consider utilizing it.
Absolutely.
And there's no judgment, no shame, just love.
Absolutely. We'd much rather have you do this and have a healthy child live than the alternative.
It's pretty neat, though, because it opens from the front. They put the baby in, and then it calls an alarm. And there's no cameras because it's all anonymous.
Right.
Yeah. And then the fire department can go in from the backside and open it right up. And
We're also wondering if we're going to get puppies.
Yeah, somebody said some people put puppies in. Please don't put puppies in.
Yeah,
No, please
well,
don't put
unfortunately,
puppies,
our
but-
Humane Society and our animal control deal with stuff
That's
like
a whole
that.
other story.
Where
Yeah.
people
We're
leave
working on
things,
that too. Best Friends has been just
She's kind of been
absolutely
doing
wonderful.
community connection when
Yeah.
it comes to the elder
Well,
at the
when it
public
comes
safety.
to that, it's the city's doing their part, but we, the public, have
that's
to
the
do
thing.
our
I
part
want to
in
say, people, get your animals fixed.
Yeah.
Get them vaccinated.
Yeah,
'cause
that's the only way we're going to fix
we
it.
have a people problem in this town. There's too many cats, too many dogs, because people won't get them fixed.
Yeah,
That's
and if you see the people out in the Walmart parking lot selling puppies
Don't
out
buy
the back of their car, call the police. It's illegal.
Yeah, call the police. It is illegal.
And
it's illegal to sell.
is?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, because
She's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna call somebody.
People don't know there is a breeding ordinance. You cannot breed
Right.
animals without registering to breed.
Yeah.
So you can get fined for that. So, yeah, I'm trying to change the ordinance again now.
Well,
Hopefully.
it's just go. You know what? We got the animal control and the Humane Society right next door. If you need a pet, there's a bunch of pets in those facilities alone
Well, and right
that
now,
would love to be a part
it's
of
a
your family.
$25 deposit now.
Yeah.
But you have to promise and you have to prove that you get your animal fixed. And they'll be following up.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're going to get a fine.
Yeah, and then of course it does have to get microchipped.
Well, they microchip it there. The city microchips them.
And I'm telling you right now, even if you live out in the county, if you do get the animal from animal control because it's from the city, it has to be microchipped, even if you don't live in the city.
Well, and like I said, they're microchipping at animal control now.
Good. Okay, so you don't even have to take it to the vet.
Yeah, and they register it because that's the problem. People were getting a microchip because that's the ordinance says, but they weren't registering it. But then the state also has a program. If you can't afford spay or neutering, you can call them and they'll
get you vouchers and things for discounts and all that.
Well, I think they'll pay for it. The state,
they even pay for it too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So, and we're trying to get some grants in from different organizations that aren't income-based. So some people have a good salary, but the cost of spay and neutering and vaccinating is so high, they still just can't afford it. So we're trying to get vouchers to help pay for
We just got to remember,
regardless of income.
Being a pet owner is not that different than being
it's
a parent.
lifelong commitment. That dog's going to be, up to 15 years. So
the dogs or cats, they got health insurance.
Well, in a month or two, we're going to have a huge influx of animal control because all these people that bought Christmas puppies, or cat and kittens, are like, oh, I don't like this dog or cat anymore, and they dump them. It's just.
And put it this way: if you're getting a pet just to chain up in the backyard, don't get a pet.
I think we should actually have a video that goes out there to actually give the full length of and basically say, if you're just wanting to find a pet, look at this video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, because that's you need the reality.
It's a
before
responsibility.
And show it to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Fora does a lot of rescues. If you look at the statistics, they actually rescue more than have been adopted out and stuff. Yeah,
it's an insane problem here, and it should not, a town of this size should not have the problem of a number that it does.
Yeah,
and when we're shipping them out to other, we're actually exporting pets to other communities.
Yeah. So this is an interesting perspective to consider because I don't think people actually, and I believe a lot of people in this community are hunters or actually understand hunting and they understand the importance of wildlife management.
Mm-hmm.
This is no different.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
we have a herd problem, and you actually have to be part of managing that. No different than the Department of Land Management here, or Fish and Game. And so, understanding that from that perspective is yes, you should care, just like you care about how they actually work with our deer and our cougars and our wolves. All of that, it's all the same thing. But the difference is out in the nature, that's not something that we're causing here. Humans are actually the problem behind our animal issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're not responsible pet owners or any of that stuff. So please, spay, neuter, and adopt.
Vaccinate because
and donate to the warming center.
Yes.
And we could keep
$400 is all it takes to keep that thing open for a night.
Volunteer at the UFO festival.
If you financially is not good for you, they're looking for volunteers. They always need help. Actual bodies to help and be there, or water or donations of that nature, toiletries, stuff like that.
And they can call either one of us.
Yeah. And for the UFO festival, they have an expertise that they think they can use to help us organize. We're very happy.
Absolutely, the more the merrier.
Get a hold of Barbara at Main Street Roswell.
It's a community event, and you're the community. So come be a part of it.
And then make sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, make sure they go to the baby box.
Tomorrow at 11.
It's a blessing. Father Yarick's going to do the blessing.
All right, Father Yarick.
The company Safe Haven Baby Box, they have representatives coming down too. It's going to be a big deal.
If you never met Father Yarick, have a conversation with him after or before. He's a fun guy to talk to.
He's so excited about doing the blessing. He really is.
He's a nice guy.
He's the perfect choice.
Last plug, Thursday night, we actually have a city council meeting. We hope you will come out or watch us online. We have a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
This is it's going to be a very fruitful one. And our work is kind of coming to an end, and it's amazing because you work on it for like 2 years, and you're like, oh gosh.
You're just like, I wish I could just say, let's get this done, and it's done in a week. But no.
The big crescendo. Yeah, well, it's
over a year, almost 2 years on this one, So.
But I guess that makes the juice a little sweeter at the end, right?
Yes.
But that'll be Thursday, 6 p.m. when
6 p.m.
when the council meeting gets. Or you can go to roswell-nm.gov. There is a link to watch it online.
Yes, absolutely. Watch it while you cook dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be sitting there, and hopefully you'll be enjoying your dinner.
That's right. That's right. I mean, maybe you can waft the smells and make them jealous. Is that chicken I smell? What's going on? So, but thank you guys. I appreciate you coming in, and we look forward to next time.
Next
and
month.
anytime for anything, city council related, whatever, you guys need to want to come on, don't hesitate.
Absolutely. I think we're going to have some stuff coming up.
Always have an open forum for everyone there at the city, and we'd love to have it. So.
But I have a plan for next month. So
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
March.
I do have to give you a plug. You did a good job at the Eagle ceremony.
Oh yeah, I did emceed at the Eagle. Each year they out at the Boy Scout headquarters here. They have a patio that they dedicate to all the Eagle Scouts that have ever gotten an Eagle in the Conquistador.
And you're an Eagle Scout.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not on that thing because mine I was in
another
DC,
state.
But and so I've been, I don't know, 6-8 years. I don't know how many years I've been doing it now. Been being the MC for that event, and it's always I'm happy to do it. You meet some of the best and brightest kids each year doing that.
I can actually see you as an Eagle Scout.
I'm
That's
an
awesome.
Eagle Scout.
I can see that.
I'm an Eagle Scout. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I actually can do some things. You know, I say a lot of stupid things, but I could hold my own if I needed to for a minute.
Yes, you're absolutely talented.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The 6th Safe Haven Baby Box in New Mexico will be blessed today in Roswell. The baby box is located on the front of the Roswell Fire Department building at 200 South Richardson Street. Last month, Safe Haven Baby Boxes had 2 anonymous surrenders at baby box locations around the country. Safe Haven Baby Boxes was formed by Monica Kelsey a few years ago after she learned in adulthood that she was abandoned as an infant. Today, the organization fights tirelessly to protect women in crisis and their infants in a mission to end infant abandonment. A maker of modular homes is asking for the city of Roswell to consider selling about 45 acres of land near the Roswell Air Center. A public meeting is scheduled for Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Convention Center. ARC Prefab says it wants to create a facility that would provide more than 330 jobs over the next 5 years while investing about $3 million into the community. This is the old Millennium Transit factory that's been closed since 2008. The city has owned that land since the closure of Walker Air Force Base in the 1960s. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It was a tough night on the road for the Goddard Rockets last night playing in Lovington, and it was a girls-boys doubleheader. Started with the girls game, and Lovington swamping the Rockets by a score of 69-34. The Goddard girls are now 7-14 overall, 0-2 in district, and they will be hosting Artesia this Friday night at 5:30. That'll be another doubleheader. The nightcap, not just as bad for the Rockets last night, losing 69-31. Lovington is now 1-1 in district. Goddard is 0-2. Meanwhile, NMMI will be back in action tomorrow in men's junior college hoops. They'll be playing at Howard College in Big Spring, Texas. The Broncos defeated Western Texas on Monday night, 66-65. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As a record storm slowly exits Southern California, authorities warn of the ongoing threat of landslides.
Days of historic downpours dumped more than a foot of rain on Southern California, leaving soaked hillsides that can't hold any more water. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass.
Our hillsides are already saturated, so even not very heavy rains could still lead to additional mudslides.
Mudslides swallow cars and pressed up against houses in the Hollywood Hills. Evacuation orders have been lifted, but LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley says it's been a busy week.
475 mudslides, 390 fallen trees, multiple successful water rescues.
Audio courtesy ABC 7 Los Angeles. I'm Jennifer King.
Crews in the San Diego area searching for a missing military helicopter, 5 Marines on board. It was headed from Creech Air Force Base, Nevada to Air Station Miramar in San Diego. The copter reported overdue early this morning. A baseless stunt is how the White House describes a failed Republican bid to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary.
After a few GOP House lawmakers joined Democrats to block the impeachment of DHS Secretary Mayorkas, the White House hailed it as a bipartisan vote. Spokesman Ian Sams said in a statement that House Republicans ought to realize that extreme political stunts like this are a waste of time. The GOP wanted to punish Mayorkas for his handling of the border crisis. Hours before the House vote, Republicans in the Senate withdrew their support from a bill designed to strengthen border security. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Nikki Haley swamped in Nevada's symbolic Republican presidential primary. GOP voters resoundingly picked the ballot's none of these candidates option. Former President Trump did not participate in the primary, focusing instead on tomorrow's Nevada caucuses. It will actually award delegates. On Wall Street, the Dow up 153. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Secretary of State Blinken is in Israel. America's top diplomat briefing Israeli leaders on Hamas's response to a proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of scores of hostages.
Hamas released a statement which made it pretty clear that it wants this to lead to an end to the war. Now, the Israelis have also made it clear that they do not see a temporary truce becoming a permanent ceasefire. But those who drafted this proposal, the Egyptians, the Qataris, the Americans, they do hope that it leads to a lengthy ceasefire, which will allow for the release of the rest of the Israeli hostages, a dramatic increase in aid to Gaza, and will also lay the groundwork for a post-war arrangement.
The BBC's Barbara Plett-Usher. Swedish officials say they have decided to close their investigation into the September 2022 explosions on the Nord Stream gas pipelines, which were built to carry Russian natural gas to Germany. The Swedes say they don't have jurisdiction. News and analysis, townhall.com. The IRS expects to collect hundreds of billions of dollars more in overdue and unpaid taxes than previously anticipated, using funding provided by the so-called Inflation Reduction Act.
A new analysis by the Treasury Department and the IRS says tax revenues are expected to increase by as much as $561 billion from 2024 to 2034. That is substantially more than previous estimates. The Congressional Budget Office in 2022 estimated that tax revenues would increase by $180.4 billion over the 2022 to 2031 period.
Correspondent Jeremy House. A new Harvard University study finds that half of U.S. renters are paying nearly a third of their income on rent. Monthly rent has outpaced income across the country, forcing many to make tough decisions between everyday necessities and a home. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having an amazing Wednesday so far. Hey, I got a message I want to put on your radar. I've got dinner plans for you on Monday, February 12th. Texas Roadhouse, they're doing their Dine to Donate event for the fine folks at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico. So if you get online and print off the Dine to Donate flyer that the Boys and Girls Club have, you can get on their Facebook or their website, any of that stuff. And then print it off and take it with you to Texas Roadhouse on Monday, February 12th between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. And they're going to donate 10% of the cost of your meal towards Big Brothers Big Sisters that night. So you're going to eat anyway. Miles will eat a delicious dinner at Texas Roadhouse, or late lunch, I guess, if you want to eat at 3. And I guess you call that dinner or dunch. I don't know what you call that. Supper? Yeah, supper. Yeah, because I think dinner's later, and then supper's like early dinner.
Yeah, it's the in between. The rule. It's the in between lunch and dinner.
Yeah, it's all supper to me. But they're going to donate, and again, that's this upcoming Monday, February 12th. Maybe make it a early Valentine's Day thing. Take your Valentine out and help Big Brothers Big Sisters. Treat your little Valentine to a special dinner and help a great organization all at once. But that's going to be February 12th, Monday, coming up at Texas Roadhouse. So,
see, this is where being a YouTube nerd really comes in handy.
Yeah,
because I have the answer to your question. Because I watch a lot of military rations. Well, not question, but your statement.
Yes.
I watch a lot of like military ration MRE videos and whatnot.
Yes.
So the breakdown is breakfast. Then dinner is technically your lunch meal.
Okay.
Supper is your dinner.
So I had it reversed.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So, right. Breakfast, dinner, and supper.
When's tea?
Tea is actually between dinner and supper.
Okay.
Does supper come before or after lunch?
Supper comes. Well, lunch doesn't exist in this breakdown. But like when they used to do K rations back in the early days of the military rations, it was breakfast was your breakfast ration, and then you had your dinner ration, which was your midday meal, and then your supper ration, which was your final.
Right.
Okay. Kind of like how the Spanish words for breakfast and lunch get mixed together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and gets called brunch.
I call it delicious.
It's the same way that champagne and orange juice gets mixed together to make mimosa.
Almuerza and desayuno.
Oh, yeah. English is the only language that does that. Crowbars words to make new words. Like in the Spanish language, or Russian language, or French language, or Japanese
I'm sure they
language.
have their own slang combo words.
Yeah.
Like Japan does it all the time. Where they try to mesh English words together, make it sound cool.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think, did they mesh their own words, Japanese words?
I'm sure they do.
What would the, say, for example, Spanish equivalent of a brunch be?
Yeah.
Brunche?
But even slang terms like kayfabe, do they have a same word in Japan, or do they use kayfabe? Yeah, you know what I mean? Or is that a uniquely English thing? I don't know.
I'm sure they have. Well, okay, so in that term, I'm sure they have their own it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah,
but they'll call it their own thing. It's like kitsune, borrowed from the kayfabe from the West.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's what I was kind of wondering. Always you hear something like that. Well, well, the Germans have a saying that, and we call it, and it means this thing. And I just didn't know if it was something similar there. By the way, Jamie, our sales rep.
This is awesome, by the way.
I haven't tried one yet, so save me a hunk.
Oh, I definitely will.
But Roy,
right?
Oh no, I'm done.
Where's the grazer?
That's what I heard last.
2 servings is enough for me.
But she made in lieu of Rice Krispie treats, she made cinnamon toast crunch treats. So think of Rice Krispie treats, but instead of Rice Krispies, it's cinnamon toast. It's pretty good.
And it's really, really good. You can infuse cinnamon toast crunch flavor into anything now.
Well, that's kind of a deal. Like that's like
rub down your roast.
Like I feel like you can buy that seasoning and just do things with it.
It's just cinnamon toast crunch stuff.
I told Roy, I said she should try it with the churro cinnamon toast crunch.
Ooh.
See what happens there.
Or just churros.
Or real actual churros. I don't know. Would it be the same?
A fun new thing that people are doing is taking the freeze-dried candy.
Yeah.
And they're grinding it up and using the powder as like a mix-in.
Although back to just using churros. See, to me that feels wrong. To destroy a dessert to make another dessert.
That's the point.
That seems not right. Like Rice Krispie treats are breakfast cereal you're turning into a dessert.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win. But to take a churro, which is quite delicious and no need to mess with, and then turning it into that.
So you're saying it's like putting a hat on a hat.
It's like putting ketchup on a steak.
Have you ever seen Iron Chef?
Wow.
On that particular.
That's a bigger jump.
Oh, for that one. I'm not going to say in all cases, but to use an actual churro to make a Rice Krispie treat.
I think that would be awesome. I mean, I think you could make it awesome.
It's kind of like those people that, I get it, but why are you doing it?
It's like a turducken.
It's like those people that...
Why are you doing it?
Well, it's like those people that make hamburger out of like the highest cuts of beef.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you doing, Stan?
Yeah.
You're not supposed... It's like, I'm going to make hot dogs with this overpriced piece of beef. Why? Why would you do that? And I feel like the churro Rice Krispie thing's the same kind of deal.
So just because one can doesn't mean one should.
Yeah.
I can understand that argument, but at the same time, churros, with everything that makes Rice Krispie treats good, also sounds amazing.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's churros a way different consistency than breakfast cereal. So I think it's going to be a hot mess.
They can be. If you get a churro that's not like hyper fresh, it's going to be pretty, crunchy.
Yeah, if you get a stale one, I guess.
Well, on shows like Iron Chef and Be Bobby Flay, they do that too. Or they get like Rice Krispie treats or something. And that's the key ingredient in your plate.
Yeah. Well, their whole job is to shock you with what they cook. So
it's true.
So they're not doing what normal people do in a kitchen.
No, I'm not either, really. So I'm okay with it.
This is true.
Anything is possible.
I'm over here grilling peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. All right.
Hey, I mean, think of it as a Pop-Tart, but bigger.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, it's a peanut butter and jelly Hot Pocket.
It kind of is,
I'm sitting over here thinking, I wonder if
Which
we do
that's the
Uncrustable.
thing, right? You can get a peanut butter and jelly Pop-Tart.
Well, they're called an Uncrustable.
Yeah, but I thought Pop-Tart had a flavor.
I don't think that Pop-Tart has a peanut butter and jelly.
Why?
They might.
Of all the stupid flavors they got, why not peanut butter and jelly?
It does seem like a pretty instant win.
Like they're
for sure.
trying to make up different versions of chocolate, and I'm like, it's all chocolate.
Right.
Like there was one I saw was like chocolate chip pancake. I'm like, how different from the chocolate one is this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The s'mores. I'm like, okay, you swirl a marshmallow in there.
I will say this. In that realm,
I mean, I like it all. Don't get me wrong.
whenever I
but-
see something that says it's chocolate chip, that feels like a waste to me.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That
of
is
chocolate.
one of those where it's a hat on a hat, where it's like, why though? Because that's
Although, like in an ice cream scenario, it makes sense because it's a texture thing. Like the chocolate chips are a different kind of chocolate than the chocolate ice cream.
But that's
so there's a crunch factor there that would not be available had you not had the chocolate chips.
I have never been a fan of crunchy mix-ins to ice cream, and the problem with chocolate is it gets really hard when it gets cold.
I disagree.
I
Because
just
one of
don't-
my favorite things to put in ice cream, chocolate covered peanuts.
Really?
Oh, it's a 10.
Really?
It's a 10.
Yeah, and it's chocolate ice cream?
Any kind of ice cream. It don't matter. Like there was and my mother got me started because she used to always get this flavor called Tin Roof Sundae.
Oh, I remember Tin Roof.
And it was vanilla ice cream with chocolate and caramel swirls and chocolate covered peanuts.
Right.
And that was my favorite part when you got a chocolate covered peanut in there. It was like,
We were most recently a Moose Tracks family.
Okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of those, but growing up, I enjoyed Fudge Ripple. That was my go-to. So you still got the chocolate, but it wasn't crunchy.
Right.
And as someone with sensitive teeth back in the day, that was definitely a thing.
Like actually one of my, and it's ice creams that I'll get, like if I like stores, I go to grocery stores and I want a certain kind of whatever. If I'm at Farmers and I'm in hankering for ice cream, I get the Kemp's Kemps chocolate toasted almond ice cream. It's chocolate ice cream with toasted almonds in it. I'll eat that whole dang half gallon or whatever it is by myself.
That does sound
Left to
delightful.
my druthers. It is delicious. And I love it.
There was a bourbon. This was in a pint. They used to sell it at Walmart. I think they took it off the shelves because it was dangerously fattening. But it was I want to say it was like bourbon and brown sugar flavored ice cream.
Okay.
Someone's getting food sick listening to this.
I know. There's like getting diabetes from the radio. But it was 22% butterfat.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was so good.
Oh, I
it was
imagine.
like the best ice cream I've ever had in my whole life.
Yeah, you eat a whole half gallon and you literally do have the diabetes.
Put that into perspective.
Yeah,
whole milk is about 3 to 5% milk fat.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was. And if you're lactose intolerant, oh my goodness.
If you were before, you are now.
Fire.
Your body's like, this is all we're ever going to need.
That's right.
We've had it now.
You're an alternative fuel source at that point. But, yeah. Oh, I was going to talk about my cruise. I'll do that at another time.
Oh, yeah.
I got to talk about the
Mike's
cruise.
taken to the high seas.
Well, there's something I'm just so intrigued by on my cruise. But I need to devote time to it. So I can't really, I don't even want to tease it right now. I just want to, so I can sit and give you a full good discussion about it. So another time.
Oh, okay.
But because it just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm
I don't know if
intrigued.
it's my 50-year-old brain. It just doesn't make sense.
Is it like a new amenity that?
It's an amenity on this ship that I would have never thought to be an amenity on a ship.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
And to be honest, I want to do it to say I did this thing on a ship. Just to say I've done it.
Is it bungee jumping?
No.
Okay. I'm intrigued. All right.
Oh, you're not catching me bungee jumping on land. I'm damn sure not doing it on a boat.
just dips the head into the open seas.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's really cool. You get to touch a rudder.
I guess skydiving is out of the question.
Yeah.
Well, that was my next guess. Was one of those like skydiving like booths where they put you in the wings.
I think they have a surfing one like that, but I don't think it's a skydiving one. But yeah, I think
if I would never skydive.
they got a crazy water slide, couple crazy water slides.
See, those are the ones I'm intrigued about. The ones that go like the length of the ship and they're like see-through.
I need to show you a picture of the boat. It looks like a floating carnival. This thing, man. It's crazy.
Sure.
It's crazy. I've done 3 cruises in my life. I've done 2 Carnival cruises and I've done a Disney cruise. This one's Royal Caribbean, and so it's the first time I've done Royal Caribbean.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie, this boat seems pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot going on in this boat. So that's why I'm excited about it. So
You said Disney, and that made me think of Have y'all seen the new Epic Universe stuff from Universal Studios?
No.
It's like Universal's own like spin-off of Disney.
Well, they were trying to
Disney
do like
parks.
the monster thing the monster thing a while back.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they kind of did like the Harry Potter park and
Yeah, they're
all
actually
those,
doing
yeah.
like themed parks,
Yeah.
like the Ministry of Magic and the Dark Universe is going to be its own thing. And
Well, it makes sense.
And Disney's got some competition right now with that. Some real competition.
Well, the thing is, so many people wish they lived in Harry Potter's world. So they've been looking for an excuse to be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And now they got a place where they can actually put their robes on and run around. And
Rowling did such a good job of describing that universe that it just made people want to be in it. You know? I want to be at the Three Broomsticks. I want to drink butterbeer. And
Disney can't compete with that. You know, you got people who want it. It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, some of these people should put their robes away and go be adults, but you do you.
Right.
Yeah. Well, also Disney stuff is kind of worn down now.
Till the next thing.
Till the next
thing.
And they're overpriced and stuff. So I think this is they're in competition.
Yeah, they're feeling heat, but they're Disney. They'll correct.
They'll bounce back.
They'll do their thing, and we'll all love them again. That's what they do. Everyone's drinking Bud Light again, right? And then when I heard
They're just going to make their money back suing people for thinking that Mickey Mouse is Steamboat Willie.
Yeah. I think there was a report actually, like they lost like billions like the past 10 years or so or whatever.
I think some entrepreneurs should start Willy World.
Right?
Just go in the whole thing.
Oh.
And make it, and I would even tap into the vacation stuff a bit and go to the Wally World.
I was going to say, that's
Mm-hmm.
dangerously close to Wally World.
I know, but
Right.
Willy World, and you have Steamboat Willie is your whole thing.
Steamboat through the park, like your tram ride.
Willy World. Why not? Everything's
There you
in
go.
black and white. Be pretty funny.
Except with
Surprised it's not out there yet. Willy World.
You just punch a mouse in its nose.
You could have a Bill Clinton section.
He saxes as you walk in.
Sponsored by McDonald's Big Mac.
There you go.
All right, we're going to play our interview we had with Josh Ragsdale and his mom, Sydney. Cindy talking about they got their 20th anniversary coming up at Pecos Flavors Winery. So they got a little thing. We just had a little conversation with them. So we're going to play that here in just a minute. But first, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure moving through our area today. We may see a shower or two from that, but the bigger deal will be the gusty wind, 35 to 40 miles an hour. We should get a little bit of sunshine, our high today in the mid-60s. Overnight clearing up and still breezy, dropping into the mid-30s, and then sunny and breezy on Thursday. Low 60s on the high. We're up to the mid-60s and fair Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get to my weather. I was doing something else. There you are. Currently, got to refresh, 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 63% with winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour. We are looking at a windy day and a slight chance at some rain, possible. A 20% chance at some isolated showers today. Mostly cloudy this morning. It's going to get windy and partly cloudy as the day progresses. Expect highs in the low 60s today early, and then as the afternoon, it'll drop a little cooler into the 50s. But winds will be out of the southwest, 25 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour today. So batten down the hatches. The winds continue tonight under mostly clear skies. Expect overnight lows in the 30s, lower 30s with southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour this evening. For you Thursday, it's going to be breezy and sunny. Expect a high right around 60 degrees with southwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight lows in the low 30s with southwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny with highs in the upper 50s. West winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy. Overnight low in the lower 30s. We are looking at a 20% chance at some moisture, rain, and possibly a few snow showers on Saturday, but probably more on the rain variety. Mostly sunny in the morning, gradually becoming partly cloudy as the day progresses. Expect highs in the mid-50s. We're looking at a 50% chance of precipitation Saturday night and into Sunday. Partly cloudy. Expect overnight lows in the 30s, highs in the mid-40s on Sunday, and then mostly clear Sunday night and into Monday. Overnight lows in the 20s Monday night, highs in the 50s when you head back to work and school on Monday. All right, 9:24. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with Josh and Cindy. You want to say Cindy from Pecos Flavors Winery. But don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll work on those D's.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center February 20th, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. The legendary Glenn Miller was one of the most successful of all dance band leaders back in the swing era of the 1930s and 40s. Today, the 18-member ensemble continues to play many of the original Miller arrangements, both from the civilian band and the Army Air Force band libraries. Additionally, you get to enjoy some of the modern selections arranged and performed in the Miller style and sound, just as it was in Glenn's day. Get your tickets now at artesiaartscouncil.com or at the Ocotillo OKTO box office. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Josh and Cindy back with us from Pecos Flavors Winery. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good morning. Good.
How's life at the winery this morning?
Good.
Busy?
Yeah.
It's kind of, is this time of year kind of, because, you have the holidays of Christmas, and I imagine there's a little bit of a lull right after that. People a little maybe festived out, so probably a little less, shopping and drinking and things. But then here, like after like right about now, right about February, people like, hey, let's get out and about. The weather starts getting a little nicer. So I imagine you guys are starting to kind of get back in your groove after a lull between the last groove.
Yeah, January's hard.
Yeah, everybody, it's pretty typical. You see it every year, but most people make a New Year's resolution to lose weight.
Yeah.
And so that usually, eating healthier, not maybe having their wine.
Yeah.
There's dry January now, a thing.
Yeah, and that's who thought of that idea. But in all fairness, though,
I feel that way too.
In all fairness, you if you shop smart, you can shop healthy.
Yeah, and we offer a lot of
shop. You can get lots of great gifts and foods and things that will stay within the confines of your healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
We have a great restaurant.
And they say, of course, a great restaurant that can hook you up with, the things that are a little bit more fat intake. You can slide to the side there.
I don't know. I feel like February is like the cut for people that want to, like, they're going to stay on their New Year's thing, or the people that are like, I'm over it.
Right.
So, but anyways, we hope the best for them, whatever.
That's right. We wish you luck. And when you stumble, we're here to hug you. Come on.
So and then Valentine's comes up. And
sure, of course it is. That's probably your big thing right now is the Valentine's Day, and of course if you want to get uber romantic, Pecos Flavors Winery can help you out. If you want to be a little bit more, just like you're hooking up your office or something with some gifts or something that you're not expressing love, just appreciation per se, they can help you out with that.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
So, you gotta be careful around Valentine's Day.
We do have a great Valentine's dinner reservations available right now.
What's on the menu for Valentine's Day?
It's a deconstructed beef Wellington.
Ooh.
With all kinds of stuff.
Nice. Well,
and we're actually doing it Wednesday through Saturday.
So it's so
every
you don't
night.
have to all
You don't
crowd
have
in
to
on the
do
14th.
it. Right.
Correct.
You can kind of space it out over a couple days there.
Right.
Yeah, and you can go to our website and you can make the reservations.
I
there.
love that. That's way better because that's kind of the worst. Valentine's Day is supposed to be kind of a romantic, personal time, and when every restaurant is packed to the gills, it's kind of hard to be romantic when you're hearing everybody's conversation.
For sure.
And the beautiful thing about Pecos Flavors Winery, it's an intimate location. So even when you're full, it's not like doesn't sound like you're at a rock concert.
Yeah.
You can
We're
still
not,
talk.
We're
to
not
each
so
other.
many seats. Yeah, absolutely.
But and of course, you guys are celebrating a milestone as well here.
Yeah, that's
too.
why we're here.
That's the big reason.
That's
they
the big
want
reason.
you to come in and treat your Valentine right and come have a meal. Come have lunch today.
Yeah.
Come on down for lunch
Please.
and maybe Super Bowl is this weekend.
Oh yeah, stock
Pick up
up.
a bottle of wine or some cigars,
Craft beers.
or some craft beers. Absolutely. Save that for your good friends.
Yeah.
Get the friends that are get them the cheap stuff. But,
Right.
Y'all have any like $2 wines for those that they can, No, sorry. All right. Just in case, like, where's the good stuff? Where's the $2 wines for my rest of my friends here? But
Mike, you got to treat everybody the same.
That's true. You don't tell them. but that's the one cool thing, and that's what I always loved about Pecos Flavors Winery is, if you're hungry, come eat. If you want to do some shopping, but you guys have such great. If you're looking for gifts for people or that kind of stuff, you guys have just such unique things that you don't see in other places. So it's kind of like and it's a unique experience because you guys are constantly changing, updating, getting new things or things change. So I would make it, do like a once a week lunch thing, and while you're there, just do a little shopping.
We like that.
Absolutely.
Make it part of like your regular routine.
Yeah, for sure.
But talk a little bit about the 20 years, what you guys are doing to celebrate that.
Well, so on the first week of March, I think it's like the 3rd.
Yeah, because officially your birthday's in March, right?
The 3rd through the...
Yeah, we opened March of 2004.
Yeah.
2004.
The only reason I knew that because I was looking at the Facebook and I saw everybody was wishing happy birthday. I was like, March.
So we're going to be celebrating 20 years in business in Roswell, downtown Roswell.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me doesn't seem like it, but then part of me seems like it's always been here. So I don't know.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so, we're going to do a whole week worth of celebration. So we have like Wednesday night, we're going to have Robin Scott perform. Thursday night, we're going to have Ken Barbie and Mike Kelly perform.
Nice.
Friday night, we're going to have Josh Grider, Drew Kennedy, Walt Wilkins perform.
Wow.
Saturday night.
Kind of an all-star lineup for the whole week there.
Saturday night, we're doing a jazz lineup with Ricky Malachi, Michael, and he's going to bring Michael Francis, and he's bringing a few guests. So it's kind of like a mini jazz fest.
Little RSO action going on there.
Well,
so we just wanted to reflect how we started.
Yeah.
With the people that helped get us started.
Sure. And so it's kind of a back to the roots kind of thing.
Yeah.
These are,
Yeah.
And if you've never been to the winery, I don't know how you missed it, but actually you should come before March. But
yeah.
But make it a come. I guarantee you're gonna like it. It's a chill atmosphere. It's very like if you're looking for a place to unwind, have a meal, or do a little shopping, hang out with friends. It's just a good place for that.
Yeah. And then we're not done. We're going to cap off the week on Sunday night with a great wine dinner from a new winery called Vara.
Okay.
Which
are they New Mexico wine?
Yes, they're based out of Albuquerque.
Okay.
And so it will be our launch of the Vara wines.
New Mexico's kind of growing. It seems like each year I'm hearing about more and more wineries or different breweries that keep popping up throughout the state. So I imagine you guys, your selection probably grows as more of these wineries and breweries start popping up.
Yeah, so we're excited to bring them in. And isn't it Laurent is involved in it?
Yes.
Yeah, so Laurent Gruet
Okay.
from Gruet Wineries. This is one of his new projects.
Okay.
And it's called Vara. And I think there's multiple owners and winemakers, but he's one of the predominant winemakers. And so, they're one of them. They are the only internationally ranked winery in New Mexico.
Nice.
Or in the U.S., excuse me.
Okay.
Or from New Mexico for the U.S.
So that's kind of like putting us on the stage with like Martha's Vineyard, Cali. I mean, maybe not that's Super Bowl, but
yeah,
we're in those categories.
It's
with this.
one that like you go into any city in America, they usually they're like, oh, I know Gruet or whatever.
Gotcha.
So now, this is Laurent Gruet, the founder of that, this is one of his new projects called Vara. So we'll be doing a food and wine pairing, really nice wine dinner. Chef Pete, our chef, always knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing is you kind of there's always something good. There's a different each time is a different meal and things. So that's why each time's a new things that you kind of go each time because it's different experience, different. And I know, like you said, your chef's always pretty good at coming up, even with the day to day.
Not pretty good.
He's really good.
But
I mean, even with the day to day, quote unquote regular food, he kind of does this thing, but then obviously turns it up a level for special nights.
Yeah, so we're excited to just invite the community out and come celebrate us turning 20 years old, and kind of.
So what's plans for the next 20? I'm curious, what because I mean, as a business, you're never resting on your laurels. You're always wanting to kind of do more and things.
Yeah.
What's what do you want to do next with the winery? Do you want to do you want
I
to
wouldn't
add
have
what
ever-
would you like to add to it, or what
I
would
wouldn't
be
have
dream
ever
for you?
dreamed 20 years ago that we would be in the place that we are now.
Yeah.
And so it'll be fun to see how it changes over
Like,
the
has there
years.
always ever
It's
been,
always
like-
evolving.
Has there always been something like you always want to do and just like I always want to try it and maybe a little apprehensive to try or anything, Just I don't know, maybe an event or a product that we'd want to sell or a specialty. Yeah,
I mean, we've tried things, and some things have gone
Well,
over.
and sometimes they fail miserably.
For example, I mean, 10, 12 years ago, we started doing art and wine nights,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought this is going to
They
be
can't miss, right?
No,
we thought it would be a
I thought it'd be
one-time
like a
thing.
fad.
okay.
We're gonna
It
do this
turned
4
out-
times, and it's gonna be over. Well, here we are. We still do them once a month.
Well, turns out people like to drink and paint at the same time.
Exactly.
They pay better that way.
So it's funny, So that is for example, that's something that has stuck and has done really well.
Sure.
Something that didn't stick and do really well was one time we tried speed dating, and we did it one time, and we were like, okay, we're never doing that ever. again.
I think the rule that you need to be in a bigger city for that to work. Because in a town this size, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And if you botch that thing, you're gonna have to live.
Well, there was a lot of botching that happened.
Needless to say, I think we broke up 3 couples that night instead of
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, sometimes sometimes you guys let love happen the way it happened.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, we've been talking about a few different ideas and can't divulge what they are,
Sure.
but
Top secret,
yeah,
classified.
top secret. But it'll be interesting to see what sticks and what doesn't. You know, and so we do have some standards. Our wine dinners are always standards. We do live music. We do our jazz brunch. That was kind of also a thing that we tried.
Our jazz brunch is hugely popular.
Yeah, and that's just it. And what I love about it, it's mostly just word of mouth. Great, you know what I mean? Like you guys have built your audience, so to speak, and so they, all these things that we're talking about are for the clients and for the regulars are kind of just tradition at this point. It's like, it's that time of year, time for this, and so it's come be a part of that group.
Yeah, for sure. So we just want to celebrate with the community or with the city of Roswell and kind of thank all the customers and people that have been there with us through 20 years.
Absolutely.
And then also celebrate as well.
And wait for exciting for the next 20 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Flavors Wineries. Give the hours and everything for folks if they've never been.
I mean, currently what we do is we're Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then the hours for these events might vary a little bit, but we're open. You can check out our website, pegasusflavorswinery.com. Call us. You can make reservations conveniently from our website. So you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. And just you can click and do our Valentine's reservations on there. And
Absolutely.
So, and then you can find us on all the social medias. And
and guys, they fellas, and I say this for fellas because we're the ones that need to be like this.
Do not wait till the last minute.
Don't wait till the last minute. But you kind of made it so it's going to be hit proof. It's going to be guaranteed to be a success. All you got to do is just say yes. Don't check the box and get the thing. Don't try to, what if I do? No. Just they've already nailed the perfect.
Yeah.
Just say yes. And your Valentine will be happy.
Little romantic dinner, little sparkling wine, a little champagne.
Yeah.
you're all set.
Absolutely. So, but again, start booking now and start getting it. And like I said, we're in February. We're already 6 days into February here. So we're just over a week away from Valentine's Day. And fortunately, like you said, it's really Valentine's week there. So, if the 14th's booked up, go for 13th.
Yeah, that way you can go on Thursday or Friday or Saturday.
Make it Valentine's weekend. A whole day, a couple days of
celebration. Absolutely. So yeah, we're super pumped, and we've got a great lineup, and we're excited to celebrate.
So 20 years ago when it started, was it both what as it is now, or did it kind of evolve? I mean, was it just selling wines and things at first?
That was the vision.
And then the food came later, right?
Yeah. The vision was just to bring New Mexico wines to southeastern New Mexico because it wasn't available. And so we were basically
a retail.
Right.
And then we got into beer then, and then a little more food.
Sure. Well, once when you do the samplings and things, and naturally food comes next, and so it kind of evolved from probably sampling to a full-on restaurant.
Yeah, and then when we moved locations in 2016, that's when we got the restaurant.
Yeah, when we moved it into there, because I always so initially the restaurant just kind of evolved into what it is. That was probably initially not part of the equation,
right?
And then life just said, we should have a restaurant. It's just kind of that's what the people are kind of gravitating towards.
And food changes so much, with styles, and so we try to change with it.
Sure.
And
I imagine wine does too.
Oh yeah.
Like what people were wanting 20 years ago is probably not the same today.
For sure.
For sure.
I mean, there's probably trends. Like there's always a hot wine or something that is trendy or something that everybody wants. But and then of course there's always your tried and true classics, and so those are always. But the rules even. Some people are more stringent on white pairs with this and red, and some are other like do what you do, and so you get people that buy that way.
We tend to think that we're teaching people and helping them learn about what they can. Everyone can find one that they like.
Yeah.
So we try to get them out of that.
Some just take a little bit more samplings to find the one that's perfect for them.
Yeah.
Because some people are just.
Well, and it goes in like population of generations, right? So like a few years ago, Moscato was the #1 seller in the world.
Okay.
And it's because the baby boomer generation had all these kids that grew up on sweet juices and Coca-Cola and all this stuff. So then as they became adults, their flavor profile was, I like these sweet things. So Moscato is a sweet white wine. And so that was just going nuts. And we saw it too. It was just like, and then all the wineries, it's like every winery had a bottle of Moscato and 30 different labels, Well, now that's totally gone. Like you don't even hear about that anymore.
Huh.
So it's interesting, like as you see generations of people turning 21 or like groups of people aging into legal drinking age or legal, consuming age.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those trends go with them,
Absolutely.
And then also like culturally, like when that movie Sideways came out.
Yeah.
And they bashed
It's a funny movie, by the way.
They bashed Merlot. Merlot sales
dropped
nationwide.
Wow.
And
so it's all their fault that.
Well, it's just it's just
Merlot
like,
industry sued.
Yeah. Well, no. So it's just there's things in society and cultures that affect what people are interested in.
Well, even look at like just alcoholic drinks, like the way they cater it nowadays. It's back when our age, they started doing the wine coolers and things, and now it's a lot of these energy drinks and things like that. But it's I think it's that generational. These are so used to drinking the juices and the Gatorades and these kind of things. So now they want their alcohol in that form.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cementing what you're saying about the generations and what they're into.
Yeah.
So.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm not into the sport drink ones and all that. Too.
I had a rep give us a one that it was a Monster Energy infused when I was like,
wow.
I just passed it on.
That feels. It's like Yeah, you don't want to have anything important planned for the next 24 to 48 hours if you drink this.
I don't know. It was like neon green. It's like the color of your shirt. Can't be good for you.
Yeah, that'll. Does it look like antifreeze coming out too? But don't worry. If you have questions about any of that kind of stuff, your staff can help you navigate through.
We offer mocktails, and we have great restaurants. So like, even if wine or craft beers or anything like that is not your thing, we still would love for you to come in and eat a great salad or have a great dinner.
If you love New Mexico, just cuisines and things, just because you guys sell the jellies and the salsas,
the green chili jelly.
The green jelly, you sell New Mexico things that aren't necessarily beer or wine. Yeah. Or you guys do the gift baskets and everything. So like if you're looking for people that love collections of New Mexico or things that represent New Mexico, Pecos Flavors Winery is kind of a place that you can buy anything that kind of is New Mexico. That's if you're looking for New Mexico themed gifts and things, Pecos Flavors Winery is. It's the whole store is that.
It is.
The only thing you can't give as gifts, well, you get if they're with you, is lunch.
You get a gift card.
That's right. You can't get a gift card. That you can put in an envelope.
That's right.
But not a sandwich or nothing.
I don't recommend that.
No. But come on down. Come today for lunch. Come and do that. And get your reservations now for Valentine's Day and also for the 20th anniversary celebration here in March.
Yep.
I know March feels like a ways away, but it's next month. And February's a short month. Even with the extra day, it's still a short month. So it'll be March like next week. So
yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, so come on down. And then, like I said, if you've never been in, then make today your first time. Come in. If you do, first time, bring your wallet because you're going to be like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. I want that. And you're going to, and come even slightly hungry, might as well just sit down at the table and eat. You're going to, as soon as you smell and everything, you're going to want something to eat. So, good deals. Is there anything we missed, guys? Is there anything we wanted to share or anything we wanted to talk about?
I'm sure we'll this is kind of our first little trickle out of a press release that we're going to be doing this, so you'll see more come in.
Yeah, more as we get closer to the March date.
We haven't really launched it publicly yet.
This is just kind of a teaser. Just kind of get your pre-game notice that we're going to start doing that. But we really did. This is kind of not a last minute, but right on time notice for Valentine's Day.
That's right.
This should be the time. The time to start making your Valentine's Day reservations right now. Don't wait till next week. Get it done this week.
Get it done.
Get it done today. Matter of fact, at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock here, as soon as Josh and Cindy roll out, let me get a chance to get back to the winery here, and then you give them a call and make a reservation.
you can just do it online.
Yeah.
That's right. You can do it online in your underwear.
That's right.
You don't have to tell us. You can do whatever you want to. So. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you next time here, and I imagine you got a few fires waiting for you at the store.
We hope not.
Not proverbial. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:40. Let's go ahead and pause for news and your Chaves County Sports Update as well. Don't go
I told a guy the other day that he looks like Mexican Judd Nelson. Because he kind of had like a Judd Nelson from back in the 80s look, but he also has Hispanic. Yeah. So I was like, you look like a Mexican Judd Nelson. Anybody ever tell you that? He's like, nope.
Judd Nelson had a cool look in the 80s.
He did. I admired his look.
Yeah.
Like real like Breakfast Club era.
Yeah. I don't know. My problem is, like, I was looking and I know you look at like the mugshot of Lee Harvey Oswald. There is some similarities. I don't know if I would have put those two together.
See, this is where today's like barbs and insults come into play.
Yeah.
My current favorite one is you look like a Wish.com such and such, or you look like the Temu version of.
Yeah, that's kind of the new trend here. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to get legs or what. But if you start hearing Brock Purdy and Lee Harvey Oswald references, and you know where that came from.
We really don't have time to talk about it, but there was a great interview from the NHL All-Star Game. Michael Bublé, apparently somebody slipped him a non-micro dose of magic mushrooms before he went. He's in the interview. He's like, I thought I was in Blades of Glory. It's a fantastic piece of video if you get a chance to find it.
Was he drinking the bubbly?
He said, then I realized, he realized, holy moly, I'm in the NHL. Yep. News is up next.
All right, we got to go. Have an amazing day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
Blinken tells reporters he's hopeful about progress towards a new ceasefire deal with Hamas. Hamas has laid out a detailed three-phase plan to unfold over 4.5 months, responding to a proposal drawn up by the US, Israel, Qatar and Egypt. The plan stipulates that all hostages will be released in exchange for hundreds of Palestinians imprisoned by Israel, including senior militants, and an end to the war. I'm Charles.
A bill to provide Israel with more military aid went down to last night in the House. It was the second setback of the day for House Republican leaders. Before the vote, their drive to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas fell short due to opposition from 3 House Republicans. Also at townhall.com, an embarrassment for Nikki Haley in the Nevada primary.
None of the above.
None of the above. That's how Las Vegas resident Kurt Maurer and the majority of Nevada Republican voters cast their ballots in Tuesday's Nevada primary, which is symbolic and doesn't award any delegates needed to win the GOP nomination. Maurer explains why he voted none of the above.
I know who I'm going to vote for. I'm voting for Trump.
Former President Donald Trump was not on the ballot in Tuesday's primary, but instead is focusing on Thursday's caucuses. Maurer says he'll be there. For the Nevada Democrats, President Joe Biden won their primary. I'm Donna Warder.
And on Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 159 points, the Nasdaq up 122. More at townhall.com.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy, it's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. Remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
The Osprey will fly again for the military.
The Pentagon believes it has identified the mechanical failure in an Osprey aircraft that led to a fatal crash in Japan and the grounding of the fleet for 2 months. The military is now weighing how it can safely return about 400 Ospreys back to flight status. The November 29th crash killed 8 service members. The Pentagon's Joint Safety Council is now working with each of the services on how best to make sure their pilots are safe after not operating the Ospreys for more than 60 days. News. Keith Peters reporting.
Crews searching for a Marine Corps helicopter carrying 5 troops from Nevada to California that was reported overdue early today. The Marines were flying a CH-53E Super Stallion helicopter from Creech Air Force Base in Clark County, Nevada, to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in San Diego. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. On the international front, officials say a pair of bombings at the election offices of a political party and an independent candidate in southwest Pakistan killed over 20 people and wounded many more.
People carry the wounded to ambulances in the chaotic aftermath at one of the blast locations. A spokesman for the provincial government says the first attack happened in Pashin, a district in Baluchistan province. Over a dozen were killed in the attack and the wounded transported to a nearby hospital. Later on Wednesday, another bombing at the Jamiat Ulema Islam Party election office, also in Baluchistan, killed a similar number. No one has immediately claimed responsibility for the attacks, which come a day before the country opens its ballot boxes. I'm Charles Tuladesma.
More on these stories